including the strange disappearance of Talon Imposter in the Lunari camp.
Hello everybody, and welcome to The Natural One, where we roll the dice, kill the creatures, tell the story, and hypothetically, one of these days, I will click the button and we will not be talking about something else. It will never happen. But thank you for joining us. Before we delve into everything tonight, just want to go ahead and give a quick shout out to our friend over at bcdesigned.com, who does custom t-shirts, socks, jackets, hoodies, all sorts of stuff. So if you have any sort of clothing really that you want with a personal design on it, just go ahead and shoot her a message, and she will be happy to work with you. Works at very great prices. I'm actually thinking about like stockpiling just a bunch of t-shirts that say random shit on it, just because I want to have them.
Like your Venom is shitty.
Yep. Yeah, like your Venom is shitty. Don't worry about it. Just a whole bunch of stuff. Okay. But
don't listen to your shitty Venom.
Don't listen to your shitty Venom.
That's what it was.
That's almost inspirational right there. Don't listen to your shitty Venom. How about that on like a coffee mug for like like your inspirational morning coffee? Don't listen to your shitty Venom.
Yeah.
Anyway, it looks like throughout the month of November, we're pretty much solid to play the next 2 Saturdays. I believe.
There's only one more Saturday in November.
There's only one more Saturday, yeah. My brain doesn't.
Well, he's not wrong.
Do you know if you have drill the first week of December?
3-4.
3-4. Let's see. Okay, well, let's check the calendar real quick because Christmas is also a thing in December.
Christmas is a Sunday, Saturday.
Christmas is a Saturday. Okay, so we will not be playing on Christmas.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to do that.
I think my grandmother would kill me, and then
I think my mother would kill me.
Of the natural one.
I'd be okay with that.
Her DM died in an unfortunate Christmas accident when he tried to leave the house.
I don't think I'll be in town anyway on Christmas.
Yeah, I know people have plans and stuff, so. But anyway, so yeah, looks like we'll be playing for a while, which is good. So, I think that's just pretty much it, unless anybody else has anything else. Without further ado, let's go ahead and roll the natural one. Damn it.
It's your time to fly, or your time to die. Let's have some fun on the natural one. You can roll the dice if you pay the price. No, we're not done. It's the natural one. It's the natural one. It's the natural one. You got dragons and flagons and horses with wagons. There's a ton of powerful shit that you'll be dragging. You're a titan of fighting in the day or night. It's an amazing story that you all are writing. It's your time to fly, or your time to die. Let's have some fun on the natural one. You can roll the dice if you pay the price. No, we're not done. It's the natural one. It's the natural one.
Yes.
And welcome back. We had a weird conversation. So,
Hands.
last time, you guys were trying to decide what you wanted your next steps to be. After being accused of killing a king and tracking down a tiefling who had stolen Talon's appearance, you guys found yourselves in William Hart's house. And he informed you that some of the lords, including Lord Moonstar, who runs the Dark Swamps, were somewhat less enthusiastic about the new queen than other lords, and might be willing to hear you guys out. You guys decided to track down where the lord was staying in Evier Hall, and had what seemed to be a promising conversation with him, including agreeing to have him watch over your prisoner tiefling, which you would exchange to him outside the gate of the city at midnight.
What?
Alright, man.
The cat's just shaking his head over in the corner.
You know, please.
Shortly after this deal was struck, you guys heard alarm bells go off, and a giant 5-headed snake was making its way towards the city, seemed intent on causing destruction. Michael and William had basically concocted a plan where they would be able to enable some city defenses to take care of the creature, but only under the condition that Michael would be able to cast a spell to hold it, which would take a minute for him to cast in order to hold the creature in place. You guys agreed to help distract the creature for the minute and head out to essentially cause damage and stop it from reaching the city immediately, which you managed to do with some success. As things start to look a little more dire, your two companion Cyclopses, who had gone out hunting, returned and decided to assist you in the battle. Unfortunately for Tognok, things turned a little bit dire, and he ended up being struck down by the creature. However, you guys did manage to complete your distraction long enough that Michael was able to unleash his spell and trap the creature in place, at which point the city unleashed a little Buying, which is a recreation of a cannon originally created all the way over in Solace by a 9-year-old prodigy, and struck down the creature, at which point Talon decided to use some of the diamonds he had purchased in Kapare to revive Tognok. And that was just about where we left things.
Oh wow, it's a miracle he's up. Oh.
How that happened, my hand slipped. Oh.
So, as you guys are standing on the field of recently completed battle with a practically decomposing, half-melted, gigantic creature next to you, Tognok looks at you, Talon, who I believe you are still in the form of a lion at this point. Oh,
I had to revert to cast Revivify.
Okay, yeah, I apologize, you're absolutely right. So he looks at you and just very gently embraces you and hugs. It feels more like having something very, almost like a weighted blanket draped over you than anything else. Thank you, little friend.
Quite literally a bear hug.
Yeah. And just it went really dark. It was really scary.
He doesn't like crush me or anything.
No, he's not like, they know to hold back with you guys.
Okay. You're welcome. You can let go now.
He's kind of bark on the head. It's okay. It's good. It's good.
My ribs.
Ow!
He's still dragging me, right?
Do you want to still be dragging him?
Okay.
No, I
Okay.
drug you out of danger.
Okay.
You're conscious.
Yes,
Yeah.
he did give you. Yeah, you guys. I believe everybody's conscious at this point.
I
Nobody's.
have 8. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys might be pretty hurt, but nobody's on death's door. You are exhausted as all shit.
Yeah. Ronan is not moving. Ronan is just gonna lay there and probably drift into a small coma.
Just kind of that half. No, I'm not totally asleep.
Yeah, he's doing one of those right now.
Just over there. Do what you know.
Nobody would ever know.
Poor big one-eyed bastard.
Hairline triggered. They couldn't blame me.
Field of battle is crazy. As you guys are sitting there kind of smiling a little bit over your escape from what might have been death for at least one or two of you, you hear a soft noise behind you, coming from the direction of the city. And your ears are kind of all currently pumping with blood, so it takes a second to discern exactly what's going on. You realize eventually you hear clapping and cheering coming from the city as people are just cheering. And you realize that this city's likely been attacked quite a few times, and comparatively, this went pretty fucking well for them. And you realize that you are now, a lot of people in the city are currently, like, clamoring at the gate, looking over the wall at you, and just clapping and cheering and celebrating. Captain William Hart is actually just outside of the gate, kind of leaning against the wall, smiling at you guys.
I mean, this could only happen because we're basically gods. So
Much for a low.
That's the dude that damn near died 4 times.
we're basically gods.
But hey, now everybody knows who we are.
Just walk over to Ronan. So now what's happening?
I don't know. Can you help me out?
Oh yeah, sure. Reach down, help him up.
Ronan is doing the swaying at this point.
I just put your arm over my fucking shoulder. I'm just literally holding you up.
Do you have any crossbow bolts loaded?
Yeah.
Shoot 3 into the decomposing thing and then yell fuck you as loud as you can for me.
I comply.
All 3 bolts. plunge into the skin of the creature. They make a sickening kind of squelch as they pierce through it. You get a sense of whatever it was that was holding this creature together, the energy or the even just the physical muscle has now decomposed and rotted away so much that it's a little bit like wet paper right now.
Look at Ronan. On 3.
2, 3. Fuck you! And then I look up at him. You did very well today. And Ronnie just goes limp in your arms.
Oh, great. Good thing you're smaller.
Michael kind of slowly works his way over to where you guys are standing. You all did exceptionally well. Very proud of you. And places his hand on your shoulder, and you feel one of the levels of exhaustion drain from you.
Oh my gosh.
As Michael casts Greater Restoration. So I'm not an especially skilled healer. I wish I could do more, but my abilities were never particularly gifted in that area. But I can do that much. I have to admit, without you guys, I would not have been able to hold the creature successfully. It likely would have killed me.
I'll slink under the other arm of Ronan to help Ghost carry him.
It's heavier than he looks.
It's the arm.
The armor.
Plus, I had a heavy breakfast. You know.
you did have a Philly cheese sandwich not too long ago. So as you guys are kind of making your way back towards the southern gate of the city, you see there's a loud noise kind of coming from the back of the crowd, like it's kind of clamored with people. Everyone's kind of reaching out and clapping. Several people just kind of slap you on the shoulder and stuff as you're reaching forward. Deli, you in particular are kind of recognized for a feat of strength by many of the dwarves here, which is something that's kind of a higher term of respect in their culture. And you know that it being as close to the mountains as your home was, you know that like you definitely struck a chord with a lot of them. Dwarves are a very heavily battle-focused culture, and especially in terms of physical strength. There aren't a whole lot of sorcerers or casters among them, so you can hit
flexing.
Yeah, there's definitely a little bit of the wrestling showboat right now. Just
they're doing the little green aliens from Toy Story. Oh.
the claw. I have been chosen. I leave this life for a better existence. Look, I haven't watched that movie in a long time. But coming from the back of the crowd, there's a carriage that you can hear with a team of 4 horses pulling it.
Oh God!
And just from the side of this thing, you can tell this is an expensive-ass carriage. It's trimmed with, or the cloth trim on top is the edges are lined with gold thread. And a huge red lion is emblazoned on the side, which you guys recognize to be the Evier coat of arms. On the front, written in common, is the phrase, "By our might," which, Ronan, having read the book, you would know is the Evier slogan.
I would love to tell them if I wasn't just out.
You guys just kind of get a Ronan. The carriage comes to a stop, and the door opens, and a large man slowly works his way out of the carriage. Seems to take a little bit of effort, actually. Strapped to his back is a huge sword, almost as broad as he is, and nearly as tall. And the blade itself is actually a blood red. He has long gray hair, a thin gold crown wreathed at the top of his head. His clothing is mostly red and white, save for his pants and boots, which are a strong black leather.
Ichigo?
Let me see, I believe I have a picture in here.
Did you go wielding Zorok?
Somewhere in here, I think I have a picture. If I can find it. It would be in houses, wouldn't it? There he is. So you see this figure kind of approach you. The blade is currently on his back, and just as he walks forward, he claps. Well done, friends. Most well done. I have to admit that was certainly an impressive bit of fighting. Well, as my captain tells me, I have you guys to thank for the defense of our city and the enabling of our quite impressive defenses. Your part in things are certainly not to be overlooked. Tell me, who is it I have the pleasure of thanking for the life of my civilians?
This fucking beast of a man was just nowhere to be found.
And I believe Grendel. Yeah. Grendel. What is your name currently?
Shelly? No.
Sean?
It
Sean.
was Sean.
Sean.
It was
Was
Sean.
there one after Sean?
No, Sean was the most recent one you did, I believe. I thought I wrote down what I didn't. Yeah, but Grendel, Sean, and Talon. I need you guys all to make a general intelligence check for me.
Six.
18.
Second. You said intelligence?
Yes.
That's going to be an 11.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
So Grendel,
It's like it was a positive.
you recognize the voice as one of the two voices that was shouting in every air hall when you guys passed it. Back whenever you three went shopping, you heard
Yeah.
shouting coming from the hall. This is one of the two voices you heard.
Can I surmise what his name is?
Make a history check. With advantage, actually.
Just a guess.
23.
Yeah, you would recognize from his description, this is Lord Ares Evier, who is known to, essentially the Evier family is, by and large, the military might and the money handlers of Terraton. They're not officially the rulers of the country, officially that's the Riverwood family, but they are, by and large, the power behind the crown.
Okay. Similar to the role the Lannisters take.
Similar in many ways, yes.
I can't say anything, so I let them know who he is, if they, just so they know.
You guys hear
Telepathically.
Grendel's voices in your minds go off.
I'll just
Be like,
I don't know, say
oh.
shit.
I'll ask Grendel, so is it a good thing that we have his attention? This is telepathic.
Yeah, I know. I have no idea. I'm gonna lean toward no. He's definitely gonna recognize it if something comes up in the future.
That's fair.
What could come up?
We're not talking to you.
I forgot it was telepathic.
I'm
So just looking at you, he just goes, please, there's no need to be shy. You guys are to be rewarded.
It's not really on the feet at this point.
Yeah,
it's
I know.
kind of just like a drag that's sort of scraping
Yeah.
across the ground.
I turned invisible?
just felt
You think you turn invisible.
She acts like Drac.
Oh.
Sometimes when she stands so still, she turns invisible.
Movements are imperceptible.
We can
I'm
still
not
see
gonna say
you.
anything to him just because.
I'll turn around, just be like, oh, hello.
the awkward diplomat.
Nice to see you again?
No, we haven't seen him.
Nice to see you.
For the first
Was
time.
this the dude that I saw in
blind
my dream?
No.
No. Okay.
Nice to see
There are
you.
similarities. You get the sense that
That's what I said.
you get the sense that the person you saw might have been an ancestor of his.
Okay.
There are similar structures in the face and in the eyes, but it's definitely a different person.
Gotcha. I'll let Ghost take the weathered body of Ronan away. Hi.
which point Tognak as stealthily as a giant cyclops can.
And then let them in the city.
They saved the
You
city.
guys are outside the
They-
city right now.
Oh, okay. We don't go.
You're like at the gates of the city. Cyclopses have a very hard time fitting inside a human-sized city.
Well, you never know.
The streets aren't quite that wide. And the houses definitely aren't that tall.
Oh my God, Cyclops! There's more.
And then every time they enter a room, they have to play the music, and so then that's just becomes just annoying as fuck.
The bars are
start
exhausted
throwing
falling through the city. Tognak reaches down and kind of just fingertips. You forgot to tell him your name is the Water Wigglers.
Right, that's our group name. How could I forget?
See,
His foot.
Tognak just said that to you. Are you?
He's saying that out loud?
No, Tognak's just whispering that to you.
Oh.
You forgot to tell him.
Yeah, basically. Think with it like holding a rat in your hand. It's
Stealthy.
Just over me like
again
spitting on me.
as stealthily as a cyclops can.
My next character. A Cyclops rogue.
You don't see me.
So do we refer to him as like your race?
You're not really all that studied in the area of nobles or how one talks to them.
I would vaguely be.
You would be. You would know that for lords, it's typically my lord. The only one referred to as Grace is the king and queen.
Okay. My lord, my name is Talon Malicos.
Talon, forgive me, I met so many people. See, have our paths crossed before?
No, but your voice sounds very familiar.
Oh, I do have quite the impressive voice, and it reaches to quite a lot of territory, if I can say so myself. But it is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Please, your friends here.
Let you guys introduce yourselves.
No, fuck it.
They just called me Ghost. It is a pleasure to meet your acquaintance.
Not a pleasure to meet yours. An impressive name, good for a warrior and a sneak.
I was just so sorry that we beat you to the battle. You looked like you were ready for war.
Well, unfortunately, a man in my position has many duties and cannot be called away immediately.
Of course.
But I'm proud to have such an esteemed visitor as yourself that was able to step in for me in that regard. Behind him, you see William just... you please, sir.
Okay.
I fucking nudge him.
As Ghost nudges me, I just look up. Ronan.
Ronan.
Yes.
Well, it's impressive to see your work out there. I'm glad to see you have managed to return all in one piece.
Barely.
And, you, my large friend, I believe you hail from the mountains, do you not?
I do.
Wonderful area. Please, what is your name?
Sienna.
Sienna. Surprisingly noble name for Goliath. And, you, I recognize you are one of the
Offended by
Lost
that.
Guards, are you not? Well met, my friend. Please, next time you see Lady Colwell, give her my regards.
I'll give a bow.
Well then. No, he's not. Denial.
I think we scared your grandma earlier because we pulled up and I literally pulled up on the right side and then the garage door started going up and we're like, what? And your grandma's trying to reverse. I'm like, oh, fuck, get out of the way.
I figured that would happen.
What's Joel? Well. Again, as my captain tells me, you guys are most thanked for keeping everything safe.
I sent you a direct message.
Oh, did you? I apologize.
I also did, so we can keep track of my names until I take out that notebook.
I appreciate it.
I also appreciate it.
I don't.
I don't give a fuck.
Okay.
I'm so heavy. Heavy. Heavy in ghost arms.
You're just like limping, like just.
I'm just.
It's my number one trick when someone's trying to move me and I'm small and I can't really stop them. I just
Plant.
yep, works every time.
Dead weight, man.
But, please, does your group have a name you go by? We must be sure to thank you properly and give you some credence within the city.
We're the Water Wigglers.
You see, just a moment
And slowly outstretched.
you hear something.
He just literally caught speech, just like, huh? What was it?
You see a momentary. Well then,
What do I pick up whenever that happens?
pure fucking disbelief.
Okay.
He just quickly goes down like a list of teams that have names, even, you know, throwing Velma's Avengers and Hooplight's Hammer in there, and Water Wigglers. That will never catch on.
It sounds extra superhero-y because of the alliteration.
Sounds something.
For the cloak.
Well then,
Even unconsciously, Ronnie just lifts his hands. No.
I lift my bar stool.
well then. Well, certainly the Water Wigglers shall be given a decent home within our city for as long as you guys are here. And please, if there's anything I can do to help your stay while you're here, don't be afraid to ask. But for now, our city is all in one piece. We defeated a creature. There is scouting and scaling and drinking to be done.
Nudge me.
At that, he returns to the carriage and starts making. Seems to be a fairly laborious task in climbing back inside.
The carriage kind of
Look, it goes.
little bit of a rock. Carriages, which is surprising because carriages don't have shocks on them.
Yeah.
So the carriage just a
It's
little
just
bit.
the wood
Just the
flexing.
wood creaks a little worryingly.
and other wheels are just like.
I'm gonna look at Ghost and say, he was there?
Water Wigglers. You're going to regret that.
Is it not the Water Wigglers?
We agreed. That wasn't it.
What was it?
Oh, you'll find out. Just limp a talon away.
Was that guy there with us?
Or Ronan. Now I'm doing it.
No. Why did he say he was?
I telepathically tell you, he's trying to impress people.
He should lose some weight. The irony being that I'm 300 pounds.
What, seeing how, so did
Ironically,
he
he actually
seem,
outweighs you.
did he seem like muscular?
He definitely has some muscle on him. There's a lot of fat involved too, but
But did it look like he should be able to carry that sword?
yeah.
Okay.
He's got the Thor build.
I'm just curious.
Yeah, a little bit of the Big Lebowski Thor.
Look
yeah.
That fit?
Looking at him, I want to see if there's like a special, like if it looks like he's wearing a special belt.
Like a girder.
No, like a.
Oh, like a strength
That-
belt. Go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Oh, please do.
Thanks.
16.
Josh, pick me, that show-
21.
Last night.
21.
What's the name of it, Josh?
I think you just saw Eternals.
Wow. Did you like it?
Yeah.
Good.
His clothing in general is actually very, very high quality, so it's a little bit hard to tell. He just might.
Okay.
Above table, I want that belt.
I want that belt.
We found our next murder hobo target.
You've already been accused of killing one king. Why not
I
add
was
another one to the
not.
pot?
We could just be the king killers.
You almost named yourself the Kingslayers.
We did on
That is
Damn
in bad
you.
taste. That is poor taste. The Kingslayers?
I was
The
literally sitting there going,
Kingkillers.
you guys are accused
said we
of
almost
killing
named
a
ourselves the
king,
Kingslayers.
and you want to go around calling yourself the
Kingkillers.
Kingslayers.
I don't remember this. This is before my time.
The Painkillers are it's a good name.
It's not when you're accused of killing a king, it's not.
It's a good name.
We should call ourselves the
This point.
King Alivers to throw them off the scent.
What did you just say?
Something.
We should name ourselves the Unalivers.
We could name ourselves the Unalivers.
Anyway,
Internet slang for suicide.
You're still just like.
William walks up to you guys.
Head.
I am very impressed to see you guys are all still in one piece. That was impressive. Wow. I did not think you all had that in you.
Ronan slowly lifts just a thumbs up and puts it back down.
But I'm sure you're all quite exhausted and could use some drinks, so please, let's see if we can find a tavern that'll take us all.
This is gonna turn into a weekend at Bernie's. You guys are sitting Ronan up in Sherry's.
What is your health at?
8
Oh.
with 2 levels of exhaustion.
Gonna take a drink of something. He's just gonna spew ale from everywhere.
You guys lift ale to Ronan's chin and it just dribbles down everywhere.
Oh, look, he likes it.
But you guys brought through the town and quickly ushered into a bar where drinks begin flying out to pretty much everyone in there. And there are several bars in the corner that begin playing, and everyone. The mood is very high energy and very happy right now. A lot of the elation of having escaped.
And we just look like
Quite
the
a bit of
Avengers at the end of the first movie.
A little bit of the Swarmer scene going on right now. So,
Okay.
What time of day is it? I asked that and I forgot the answer.
at this point, it is probably about 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Just 10 more hours of until we gotta drop them off.
Oh, can I go to bed?
If you'd like to.
I would like to take a long rest.
With our new status, I think Grendel is gonna go about trying to figure out someone to buy these giant gold pieces from the chandelier.
That's a good idea.
Okay.
I just hand Grendel the bag of holding with the chandelier in it.
That has some of the chandelier in it.
Where's the rest of it?
With the Goliath, or with the
With the
Cyclops.
Oh yeah, Cyclops.
So you're making a trip to see like what kind of stuff you can sell.
Yeah, just try to get some of the, at least open up some room in the bag.
Yes.
Okay. Well, while you're before you leave, Talon will ask you. 1 second.
So the house you guys were given property to is actually in the lower part of Gemdust here.
Is that like a higher end?
It is a higher end house. You can tell it's essentially an esteemed guest house is what this is. You can tell it's kept for people that have some position of influence or power in the city.
Yeah. House.
Yes, you guys were gifted lodgings for keeping the city safe.
Permanent?
Permanent lodgings or?
Maybe.
As long as we're here.
He'll hand
we
you
went here
the
now.
Oh, I want to go to that.
the necklace that he has on, the Charm of Plant Command, and the Wand of Wonder, and he'll say, "See what you can get for these."
Okay. So is anybody else going to the house, or is it just Sienna?
I'm going to the bar.
You're going to the bar?
We're going to the bar.
Ronan and Ghost are going to the bar. Talon, where are you going? I don't have a choice.
You don't have a fucking choice.
Where are you going, Tom?
Well, I'll actually go with it. I'll accompany him.
Okay, so Grandel and Talon are going shopping. You two are going bar hopping. You're
I'll go
going
with
the
them
house.
to the bar.
Okay.
For the first time, Ghost is getting drunk today.
Oh no.
Angry.
So as you guys go from bar to bar, even if there's an effort to attempt to pay for drinks, you're unable to. Drinks are basically being thrust upon you, primarily by dwarves, but even by quite a few of the humans in the Evier army. So people were impressed with you, and dwarves in general just like drinking.
Okay. Were the guard, whenever we were outside the city, were they still hesitant about letting the Cyclops in?
You can tell that they're still a little bit hesitant about it. Mostly just due to the fact that they don't really fit.
Okay.
You know, it's not exactly the city, not really many, if any, cities designed for Cyclopses to be a part of.
Do I know generally how much gold they have on them? The
Guards?
No.
Cyclops.
The Cyclops.
Oh. Well, the chandelier is about 800 pounds, and the bag of holding could hold a total of 500. Given everything else that was in there, I could say you could probably put about 400 pounds of gold inside the bag of holding, so they have about 400 on them.
Okay. Then I go about, and then I've
At least I should say they should have about 400 on them.
I've written out some notes for somewhere to sell
I like what you said that.
pieces of raw gold.
Okay.
Or not raw necessarily, but I don't know how I'd say it.
Pure.
Pure,
Solid.
yeah. Pure solid, yeah.
Pure solid.
Yeah. Might grab.
Did I not write down? Must not have shamed me.
Except it looks like a penis.
Yeah.
It does.
I think so.
A lot like one.
Yeah, like.
So asking around for a while, definitely the best. Go ahead and make an insight check, or not an insight check, investigation for me.
19.
Okay, so it's a little bit weird for you, hard for you to communicate whenever you're used to talking to people's minds. But as soon as people get an idea of what it is you're after, you find out definitely the best rate of exchange will be for you guys to bring the gold directly to the spire and convert it into gold. Gold in its, not necessarily in a raw form, but just in a form that could be melted down and turned into something else, is more used for decoration than practicality. But there are a few smiths and miners around town who could work with it, but you won't get as good a price.
Okay, so we'll head to the spire to figure out some arrangements to deal with this.
Okay. And just for a reminder, the spire.
Oh, the spire's in the other location.
Where'd you put my other thing? There it is.
Spire's
The spire's up here.
But
We're heading to the spire.
now we've at least got clearance to roam this land.
What do you think's our best choice? In the spire, or trying to find some local places and get some of this gold off of us?
Is it like, because the gold pieces are in the bag of holding, right? Are they?
Yeah, 400 pounds of it, and the other 400 pounds is on the Cyclops.
Do they look like it's a big pain in the ass for them to carry it, or?
Cyclops can carry a lot.
Oh, okay. I say we wait then.
Then we'll try to find a spot for the Wand of Wonder and the Charm of Flame.
Okay. There are a few magic shops in town, and after asking around, there's one particular known as the Angry Rat that you think might serve your purposes.
Okay. I'll ask Talon to lead it in this case because I don't do well with talking to people.
You're having the blind man lead?
That's exactly it.
He can tell me where to go, I just have to talk to the people.
Yeah. I'll purposely point him away from the people, just slightly askew every time.
Just talking to the wall.
I'll do it about 10 feet to the left of the person.
That's
As you guys go ahead and locate the Angry Rat, you can see it's a shop that sticks out a little bit from the surroundings. It is something that's actually a bright, vibrant green color, and there seems to be kind of strange fairy lights instead of lanterns, providing light on the outside. And the sign is right beneath where it's written in Common. It's also written in Dwarvish and Elvish, which is the first time you guys have seen Elvish script in the city.
Okay. We'll go inside.
Okay. As you walk inside, there is a huge collection of different things. There's an entire wall dedicated to different spell books and different history books and things of that nature, and it's doing a little bit of the Harry Potter thing where the books are actually putting themselves away and flying off the shelf almost at will. A little bit hard to keep track of exactly what books that are doing what and why. The books seem to be rearranging themselves on their own. There are a few different walls that have a different collection of magic items on them. And standing behind the counter, in one of the few rare cases of it being neither a human nor dwarf in the city, you see a somewhat elderly male Gith that is standing behind the counter. That kind of greets you with a smile on his face, which is a little bit disconcerting to see on a creature that's normally a being of the darkness, but nevertheless seems friendly. And calls out, "Welcome to the Angry Rat, friends. Please. Hang on, sorry, double checking. What can Torba do for you today?"
Hi, I was looking to see what I could possibly get for these. And I'll hold out the charm and the wand.
Okay, and what is the charm?
Plant command.
Charm Plant Command. Work with me here, Vince. Sorry, I don't remember these items off the top of my head, so I have to look them up. And what is the wand? The wand of
Wonder.
Wonder. Wand of Wonder. Okay. Kind of spends a little time looking over them, and then reaches into his belt and pulls out kind of like the gem monocle. Pops it in here. These are fine pieces. Still a little bit of use and a little bit of wear and tear, but still in very good condition. Let's see. I could give you 2,000 gold pieces for the wand. And let's say 1,500 for the charm.
Okay. What else do you have for sale today?
Carrying many different items. I don't do so much of the swords and the guns and bows, but if you're looking for perhaps items of a slightly more unusual nature, I carry several rings, a few staffs, and a couple cloaks as well.
I very well might be interested.
Well then, he kind of leads you over to the wall where you could see just a different mixture of, as he described, rings and cloaks and things. And he leads you over to the box of rings. Let's see here. But he has, by and large, you would actually recognize, being somewhat familiar with the Fey energies and the energies of the Wild Woods, are fairy rings, which...
Thank you.
let me double check on exactly what these are so I don't missay them.
He doesn't like that.
But they can provide a number of different benefits, including if you perform a correct charisma check, they can give you the benefits of true seeing for 24 hours. Yeah, they do a number of different things. They're not especially powerful, but they are useful in certain areas.
Okay. And he has a bunch of different ones.
He has a few different. They're the more common rings that he has. Why are we? That's so weird that it didn't.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's why. Sorry, I typed something in wrong. We'll see.
Yeah, okay.
It was suddenly showing me rings because I typed it in with an S. That was weird.
Valor at first too.
And then he pulls up another one. This string actually has the ability to suffer a gene. Very powerful. Kind of puts it down, picks up another one.
That's dangerous.
This ring would actually allow you to shield your mind from unwelcome intrusion. And finally, this one, and he kind of pulls out a gray crystal ring. Would actually allow you to vanish and reappear in a place nearby while restoring some health to you if you're injured.
Okay. Those are indeed interesting. Where did you get them?
I get them from different places. Back in my youth, I used to do a lot more adventuring, but now mostly through different trade and the like. Dwarves aren't really so big on magic items so much unless it can hit something harder, so they tend to bring them to me.
Gotcha.
Relationship.
And is it just these rings for sale, or?
These are the rings I have for sale. I also have some staffs and some cloaks as well, if you have an interest. He'll lead you over to where these staffs are collected. This one is very simple, and he lifts up one of them into the raw, and you see him click a button on it, and removes his hand, and you see it remains hovering. This thing, whenever you move it into a place and tell it to hold, virtually unmovable. It requires an enormous amount of force to move it from where it is until you click the button again. And then as you see, you can move it around as you wish. Next one I have. I have to read that one, I'm not familiar with it off the top of my head. This one actually has the ability to shoot lightning from it and damage creatures within a long line. Quite useful for those of you who prefer to work with elements as opposed to creatures that can prefer outright damage. And finally, this one, I don't know if it would necessarily be of so much use to you, but if you know of somebody who has perhaps made a pact with another being, it can actually enhance their spells.
I used to know one.
Well, I'm sorry you do not still know them. It would be more useful in that case, but those are the odds I have. Would you like to look at the cloaks? This one is a little bit silly. It was belonged to a dwarf who was, shall we say, a little bit dramatic. But you can command it to billow dramatically upon occasion. Perhaps those who like a little bit more showmanship in their work. I also have a cloak that will allow you to transform into a hellhound as if affected by polymorph. Rather dangerous. And finally, apologies. I have a cloak that was gifted from Spider Silk in the Shadowed Forest, and you can actually use it to cast webs from it. It's pretty.
Okay. Any of this stand out to you?
I did not hear any of the rings. Sorry.
The main thing he has is a collection of fairy rings. Mike, come on, stupid article. Work with me here. The main thing he has is a collection of fairy rings. He also has a ring of Jinn summoning. And a ring, what was it? Which one was it? A ring of mind shielding. And a ring of temporal salvation. Temporal salvation, I apologize, I misspoke.
I shake my head slightly and telepathically tell you maybe the ring of mind shielding. That might be up my alley, but that's about it.
Okay.
But I pull out the weapon of certain death, the dagger, and see how much that would go for.
It kind of takes a little look at it. Unfortunately, I do precious little work with real weapons. You would be better off talking to one of the smiths in town.
Okay. How much would you want for the ring of mind shielding?
The ring, let me see it. It's a decent piece. It's not especially impressive. I could let that go for, say, 400 gold.
Okay.
Man, if only somebody wasn't getting drunk at a bar.
I'm not getting drunk. I'm just recovering. My DD took. I'm the DD for this game tonight.
Doesn't need driver.
We don't need a DD.
We might.
No, we don't.
Throw in a voucher the next time we come in for guaranteed business, and between the 3,500 gold for these items, you got yourself a deal.
I could absolutely do that. He shakes your hand, hands you the ring of mind shielding and 3,100 gold pieces.
Okay. Go ahead and add that to your inventory.
They're golden mines, for the record. Meanwhile, a couple miles away in a bar, as Ghost, you and Ronan,
And Sienna.
She's sleeping.
Sienna.
Sienna. Did you?
No, I went with you.
Did you?
Yeah.
I thought you went.
I was gonna go by the house to the house by myself.
Yeah, that's creepy. Fuck that. We could be responsible for go to sleep.
get drunk.
Cut to the montage of us taking shots in the bar.
So, you three, as well as William and Michael, are in the bar drinking, smiling and laughing. You can tell the stress and the wear and tear of the earlier fight is starting to drain away now. Michael is currently in the middle of explaining how the city came to be in possession of Little Buying. Just going into depth. And above table. Brief version is that after Chloe invented the original one, several years later, Solace kind of became the expansion of technology and energy. And much of what was brought over to Ludomentis, not as far as you can tell, what was brought over and made in Ludomentis was kind of shared with the world, almost in kind of a patent release type of program.
Oh, the Wakanda. Got it.
A little bit.
Yeah.
There's no vibranium in Little Biome, but you know. But that including that and the technology to make Warforged was revealed. That's pretty cool. But as you guys are sitting there talking, Ghost, you hear a soft tapping, and for a moment in your slightly inebriated state, you almost don't even think anything of it. But eventually your ears perk up a little bit. That's thieves' cant.
Damn it.
And as you stop and you look around, you see a stout dwarven figure in the corner with a hood up. That you can see kind of slowly tapping his mug in a form of thieves' cant to you.
What's he attempting to say?
He is attempting to say, "Come and have a drink with me, friend."
And who's doing this?
There is a dwarven figure in the corner.
How you doing?
I am.
Like you just like leaned in both sides of the booth, like.
Yeah, I'm just leaning inside the booth drinking.
It's not even so much drinking. He's just occasionally bringing a mug of ale to his lips.
I'm there. Yeah.
Okay.
I could fight again if we need to. Not successfully.
I can
I
also
don't
fight
live through
again if
it,
we
but
need
I can
to.
fight.
So I'll give you a quick kick and just be like, come right back.
Did I notice the kick?
What's your passive perception?
Not high.
Ghost, how stealthy are you beating about this kick?
Not that stealthy. Like I'm sure it jarred him when I kicked him in the shin.
What's your passive stealth?
Probably put him out
Well,
again.
Stealth.
Is my passive perception.
What is
Just 10 plus whatever your modifier to stealth is.
21?
Okay, yeah.
Jeez.
You don't notice anything.
Nope. Mm-mm. What's a kick?
And then Sienna, she took her bar club and whacked that thing. I'm just continuing on with this story in a haze, trying to explain to William and Michael as they were probably both watching from the wall.
Michael was very focused on what he was doing and just grateful he was not being targeted.
I'll pick up my drink and like overly stumble my way over
Make
there.
show of drunkenness.
Yep. Sit down, lean across the table. What do you want?
Continuing in Thieves' Cant, he slowly conveys. I have it said that you might be on the hunt for information. If you are willing to pay for it, information I may have to sell.
How much would this information cost me?
Depends on what information you want. Everything has a price.
How do I know this information is resourceful?
You will just have to trust me.
I don't know you. And I don't trust you. I don't know whether you know the language or not.
This is so roguey.
Then consider it a form of mutual extinction. If I were to give you information that could harm me.
Accidentally spill my drink a little bit. Well, how about a show of good faith? You tell me what information that you're planning to sell to me, and I'll tell you whether I want to buy it.
I would need to know what information you might be interested in. I could tell you about the travelings of certain kind of fish till I am blue in the face, but if you have no interest in it,
You like fish?
Meow.
There's a man. A certain broody man with red eyes. You know of such one?
I know of a few such men. Those children are not especially stealthy usually. They stick out in crowd, so to speak. But there is one such man who has been making moves.
How much would the information in this man bring me?
I could tell you certain movements of this man for 300 gold pieces. Yep. I take you for somebody who knows the price of knowledge. Information takes time, reconnaissance, and not a little bit of risk.
For all I know, you don't even know this man. You expect me to hand over 300 gold? I don't know you. I
But-
don't know who you work for.
I work for myself and for the prevalence of information.
So you're alone. Not backed by anyone.
I've worked for different people at different times.
Well, I can tell you I'm not just going to hand over money to someone I've not vetted.
Then perhaps the information is not worth it for you.
Give me a moment. Get up from the table. Stump my way back. A friend over there says he may have some information on the gold price. His price is high.
Are we talking about?
Yes, I'm talking about the other problem.
What type of information? We have a location.
Unclear.
Have a destination. Do we have a plan?
Do we ever have a plan?
No.
No, we do, but we just never follow it.
Step 1, make a plan. Step 2, throw away the plan.
I cannot guarantee truthfulness of any information that he may garner. says he works alone. He has no contact. The guild, as far as I know. He doesn't look familiar.
What made you want to go talk to him?
He gave a sign.
Does Ghost have any tattoos or any? Oh wow. Brands? I don't know how this would work with fur.
No.
Is it trimmed in a certain pattern?
Yeah.
His tail's tied in a knot in a
That-
specific way, or
That would give off the rogue thief vibe.
You've
to
never
others.
seen it.
Okay.
He's got like a little mark on his tumor.
Does Ghost wear his tail like around his waist like Goku does?
No, it has mind of its own.
Okay.
It doesn't want.
tail steals things on its own.
Is it a naughty wackus bonkus?
It is a But no, you've never seen him show any sort of brand or anything. That doesn't mean he doesn't have one, but you're not aware of one. But you know his past, his history,
Okay.
where he comes from.
So, a question for the DM. Because of my affiliations with certain people and travels throughout the world, would I understand how this process works?
You vaguely know that people who know the thieves can't have ways of communicating with each other. You don't know any specifics about it. Ghost just kept that pretty close to his chest.
No, I meant like the honor system of divulging information.
That is specific to this person. You have no idea what this person's creed is.
He doesn't work for anybody. Clear.
If he belonged to a guild, you
Okay.
could roll for it, but in this case,
See,
you can make an insight check on him if you want.
Also, side note, would we have gotten a short rest?
I would allow you guys to take a short rest at this point if you would
I'm
like
gonna
to.
use some hit dice just for shits and giggles.
Same for Talon and Grendel if you guys would
I
like.
will make an insight check then.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna roll some hit dice.
Use 4 hit dice. Just in case.
11.
Things turn in a bad light.
11. Dude, Shady, you have a hard time seeing any honesty or dishonesty from him.
See if your friend is willing to share any information about her grace. And if he knows anything about the manhunt or a specific group.
Perhaps, perhaps you're in the need to use the facilities.
I was just thinking that. And Ronan will get up and with one hand over his ribs because he got squeezed to shit twice. He will drunkenly stumble his way to the table.
Okay.
And I will I'll like collapse into.
Universe,
Is he in a
you need
booth
some
or at a
healing.
table?
Jeez.
He's kind of at a small booth at the bottom.
I will kind of collapse into the booth. I'm so sorry, my friend.
Jesus Christ.
And then I'll just sit there and I'll look at the people passing.
19.
A mutual friend of ours tells me that you're a man who knows things.
I know some things, and I do not know others.
Respectable. The red-eyed individual he speaks of, that information may be viable. And as Ron just kind of scans and watches and like does the sway. And
There's 28.
what about her grace, though?
I have no idea what you're talking about with the red-eyed man. Her Grace is our new queen.
Right. And he'll look around. Is anybody else listening to us as we're trying, as you know, we're
Make an insight check.
well,
You curious eyes and no one that appears to be eavesdropping on you.
then I'll throw out a loud laugh. No, I mean her grace. It was weird how she came into power, yes?
She married the king.
I went with it, by the way.
The king,
Oh, you're there too. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not
and the
really-
king was murdered, correct?
I would have gone with both of them then.
What about that here? Very strange group of adventurers.
You know,
Actually, I would tell you to stay away.
what do you know about shifters?
That's fine.
I know
I'm
nothing
just not
about such
smart enough to
creatures.
not
I know they're
follow.
lycanthropes.
Just taking the table with him.
Did I move the table?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm so fat.
I think it was the chair.
That's what Lord.
Oh, yeah.
That's what Lord Evier says when he's in the mirror by himself. I'm so fat. I used to be able to fit that shirt.
19.
He's got a closet of shirts that go down in size. Get the breastplate stretcher! I don't want the king's too fat for his armor!
Yeah. We can talk about self-body shaming later.
No body shame, guys.
18 plus 9 is 24.
This information about the red-eyed individual.
Again, I know nothing about such an individual.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Say you did know information about such an individual. For 300 gold, does that get us a location or a plan or maybe a destination of where he's headed?
300 gold can get you many things, but I honestly have no idea what you're talking about.
Bless you.
Thank you.
I haven't
Then
heard a
let-
single one until just now.
I haven't
Then let me
either.
That was the
pardon
third one.
myself.
No, I haven't heard them.
And I
Oh,
will
you
get to
I
the
blocked them out.
facilities, but as I'm getting up,
This needs
I
a really
will
long time.
leave.
I was doing better till this week.
Oh, do I have? I will leave 150 golden lions
Okay.
with Ghost.
Sienna, are you staying at the table as well?
Yeah, Ghost told me to stay at the table.
Okay.
And then whatever you see fit, then. And I slide the pots for him and make my way to the bathroom.
Alright.
I was doing math when you were asking your first questions. What did you ask about me?
Does he know anything about the shifter? Was the queen, the murder, was it weird? Of the king. He thought this was a group of adventurers.
He's basically divulged nothing that is not public knowledge.
Yeah. That's kind of what I figured. Okay. Well. Seems to want information from me.
Information is best left with those who can understand the value of discretion.
He seems to rather want information about the queen than their other mutual friend. So how much would finding out exactly how our benevolent queen actually made it about?
Kind of cast a look at Sienna. Again, I truly have no idea what you're talking about.
Even though I'm not at the table?
I thought you said you weren't
I
at the
stayed at the
Yeah,
original
she's back
table.
here.
Oh, okay. I thought you said you were staying. I thought you meant you were staying at the table with the two of them.
Oh, no, I never
I
went into
apologize. My
that.
mistake. Well, for information on her grace, that is rather more difficult to procure. I would need 550 gold to speak on what I know of her.
I did ask questions about Kazi though.
You did.
Oh, those are the last three questions I asked: the plan, the destination, location. So get whatever you want.
Vex trying to make a deal right now.
Really is.
This is your Vax moment.
I'm like both because I'm also frugal as Vex.
Yeah.
Felt such a kinship. That's too steep for mine.
Information is worth what you're willing to pay for it. If it isn't worth it, then it's not worth it.
So from the red eye command is
And if you think her grace isn't the problem for you, don't worry about it.
300 golden lines information on the answers to my friend's questions.
300 golden lions, I will give you what the information I have on your friend.
Tell me your name first.
I am known as the one who speaks from the shadows.
Is this a dwarf?
Yes,
Any scars?
several.
Tattoos?
Not that you can see visibly. He is clothed and cloaked at the moment.
Put up or no?
Yes.
I'll give you your money, but take your hood down. I'd like to look you in the eye first.
Slowly removes his hood. As he does, you can see there is a long blue trail that kind of curves up and runes along the other side of his face by the base of his ear. It trails up and disappears into his hairline.
So like tattoo-ish, or is it
Like
more
tattoo-ish.
Magical room? Or
Make an
magically placed, I should say.
Oh no, it looks like it was tattooed.
Okay. Just in a different ink.
Yeah, some. Yeah.
More than just a normal type of ink. It's not just regular black ink.
Yeah.
Okay. That ring any bells?
Go ahead and make an Arcana check.
Does the pattern ring any bells?
Go ahead and make an Arcana check.
Ooh. 21.
You've heard tale of tattoos being able to be placed on individuals that will increase certain attributes. And looking at it, you can tell there is a slight magical aspect to this.
Look at Mark. He's so excited.
So another universe, Reggie got hard.
You're a magical tattoo.
He got pretty excited.
Okay. I'll take the bag of gold he gave me. Take out
I went to
150
urgent care for my
gold
hives.
lions.
Okay.
And I will just. Is he in a booth or a chair?
Booth.
Okay, fling him underneath the table to this side.
He swiftly. There is talk that in the land of the broken, there is a huge tower that cannot be mapped and that cannot be easily found. This tower is the home of the Underborn. Except that recently no one has seen Underborn enter or leave. But there has been tellings that many red-eyed children are dissipating into this tower. And then there are whispers of a horrible shadow that has begun issuing commands throughout the land, and that even the creatures and the weather obey him. Some of the other lands are starting to pay attention to the shadow, and not many are ill-disposed towards it.
These are the Underborn?
Yes.
The shadow residing in this tower? Or has he just been seen near it?
The shadow spends much time in the tower, and much time away from it.
Or are the rest of your questions?
It was
Location,
destination,
destination,
plan.
location. Sort of.
Is that a large shadow over the lands?
And issuing orders. Do you know what this shadow is? Do you know his orders?
The shadow gives orders that cannot be overheard easily. They are specific, and no one seems to know how the orders overlay with one another. The one thing that is consistent is the cursed children are heavily involved.
Anything else you can tell me?
Her Grace is not the only one that has taken interest in a strange group of adventurers. That is what you paid for.
Everything you know?
That is everything I know for what you paid.
Golden Lions? How much more?
Depends on what you want to know about.
How far is the bathroom away from this table?
The privy is just outside.
How far though?
50 feet.
Okay.
Alright, while you guys are thinking, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break because I really have to pee. And welcome back. We're talking about boxing. We're talking about a lot of stuff. Anyway.
That wasn't boxing, that was like golfing.
That was murder, is what that was.
That was a baby
So-
getting burped.
Before we jump back over, is there anything the shopping crew would like to do before they're returning?
Yeah, I'm gonna head to the same place where I got my last shield
Okay.
and look into that arrow catching shield again.
Okay. Pull it up real quick.
Isn't that what shields normally do?
This one does it really well.
Does it absorb the arrows back?
It does it with style.
No, that's monks.
We're not falling.
We're not flying, we're falling in style. Did you guys see the teaser for that movie, Lightyear?
Yeah.
I'm kind of wanting to see it.
I haven't seen it yet.
It's an animated, but I kind of
That's what shocks me is that you wanted to see it.
I do want to see
His
it.
favorite Disney movie is Toy Story.
Yeah, I do want to
It's
see it.
that's the one I like the least.
It takes you guys a couple minutes to remember exactly where this was, but with Talon's help, you're fairly quickly able to find it. And as you walk inside, the small dwarven woman behind the counter looks up. Ah, lovely to see you both again.
How are you?
I am doing quite well, thank you. No small part thanks to your effort. So, How can I help you today?
I go up to the arrow catching shield and just.
I knew this one would catch your eye. So, let's see. Get this down here real quick. And she brings it over to the counter. We can definitely do this for the shield. It's a fairly important piece of equipment and quite well made, if I do say so myself. I could let this go for, say, 3,000 gold pieces.
I'll put the weapon of certain depth dagger on.
As soon as it becomes clear you kind of want to do a trade, she gets excited. You kind of see a little bit of flush come to cheeks. Alrighty, let me see, Javier. She kind of starts poring over the dagger. A very well made dagger, but a dagger of the same. I would be willing to knock off, say, 1,200 gold pieces for this. You feel Rodin's contentment from from a few bars away.
I can't see that. I don't know what that is.
How much do you want to buy the shield for?
So the shield that you already have.
Mhm.
If you don't have the money, I can.
I do
I mean,
not.
I just sold my stuff. So,
Okay.
how much do you need?
1,500, or no, pretty much all of it. So I but
Okay.
I've been giving all of my
After
gold.
selling the dagger to her, it's 2,300
12.
gold pieces.
What?
She's knocking 1,200 off the price.
Yeah, and you
Which
said
would be
that's not
eight.
the right math.
That would be
It said
1800.
It was
1,800.
minus
You
12.
said
Yeah,
3,000.
you said
You said
3,000.
3,000.
35 for his trade-in.
It was 35 for his trade-in, but he
You
knocked
just
off
said
400.
3,000.
Okay, the shield is 35.
You said 3,000.
Did I?
Yeah.
Yes.
I said 35. Okay, well, I said 3,000 then.
So 1,200 brings it to
Okay, yeah, that would be
1,800. 1,800.
18. Oh, yeah, my bad. I'm thinking 5,000. Okay, 1,800.
I'll put the chime of opening on there,
Okay.
and that has all the charges. I haven't used any.
Let's look at it. Now that is a very rare item. Really more of a use to adventurer or a dungeon dweller than myself, but I could probably find someone to sell this to. I could give you 13 for it.
13.
18, 13.
You want the sentinel shield for 500?
Sounds good.
All right. So I tread that, and then 1,500 gold lines going to you, and then you're getting the sentinel shield.
Because I'm paying him 500 for the shield that he already has. So
Okay.
that would make up the 500 difference.
All right. So she swipes the chime and the dagger and the 500 gold pieces. Lovely doing business with you. Anything else? Well, then I hope you enjoy your new shield, and I hope it amends your life, and you have a wonderful day.
You too. Thank you for your business.
Thank you. Hopping back over to a bar booth with Ghost and the dwarf who speaks from the shadows.
It's a pleasure doing business with you.
He offered 100 gold pieces
Oh, did I?
to see if there was anything else.
Oh, that's all right. I did say what else 100 would buy me.
He asked what you wanted to know about.
It's coming to doors.
I could tell you a little bit for 100, but for details, you would have to pay me quite a bit more.
I'll tell you what. We will vet your information about our red-eyed friend. And if you happen to find out any useful information about the Queen, make it a little bit to your liking.
As you wish.
We'll have to see see if you're truthful.
Always truthful,
I hope so.
as long as what you have paid is worth it.
That's cool.
Information is valuable.
It is. Truthful information. Friend of mine. Big one. She hates liars. So, for your sake, I hope your information
My own well-being is...
she'd track you down.
I would be impressed if she could. Or you, for that matter. But, all the same, I'm not worried.
I make that she will find things that
As do I.
I'll be seeing you. I get up.
And at this time that he gets up and starts walking back to the table, Ronan comes from the bathroom and will
Okay.
follow him back to the table, still holding his ribs.
I relay all the information he said.
As you return to the table, Michael and William look at you guys. Well, that was some weird fucking shit. Do you always do that?
I used to live a different life.
Well, no, I assume that just from the everything. But, well,
I do have a favor to ask you.
if I can help you, I will.
I'm sure you have connections. City.
Some. Depends on exactly of what nature.
Where might I find the local thieves guild?
If you find that out, then you would have to let me know. For the most part, thieves' guilds are tolerated. In this land, not so much.
That
Double.
Now,
No, it can use either.
if we were Nyanetta, different story.
I was more wondering if there was a
country?
particular place
No, for
that
connected.
sort of
That's why
individuals visited regularly,
Oh.
or were seen.
Anywhere where pockets can be picked. I just tell you that the shadier parts of town are generally less heavy patrolled. So if you were to find a lair, that would be my best guess. But my men have been scouring it for a few years and have yet to turn anything really useful.
Which district?
The district. That's it. As best we can tell, it's the northeastern corner of Ruby Road.
Is he still sitting there?
Michael and William?
No,
Or the dwarf?
The dwarf.
The dwarf is no longer there.
That's what's concluded.
I had one more question. Fuck.
I mentioned that we're gonna vet his information, and if it's truthful, that I offered potential more points for more information.
That one, you kind of see William start to turn to a little bit thoughtful. That one is an oddity. I've worked with him before.
Dwarf?
Yes. The one who speaks from the shadows. At least that's what he called himself when I spoke to him.
Didn't think to mention that.
You didn't ask.
Immediately.
You got up and went to a table.
Is his information truthful?
It has been as long as I've worked with him. It was through him that I came to know how you guys were doing.
Does he find you or do you find him?
Generally, he finds people who are searching for information. I'm not entirely sure how he does it. He wouldn't tell me unless I was willing to pay him, and soldiers don't make that much money.
Don't know who he works for.
I'm not entirely sure he works for anyone. Or works for gold, as far as I can tell.
Everyone has acquaintances.
Working for somebody and having an acquaintance is quite different. I consider you all my acquaintances. I certainly don't work for you.
That's true.
Actually, likewise, I work for Lord Evier, but I wouldn't consider him an acquaintance.
Has anybody I'm looking around. Has anybody talked to him about his?
Would you bring it up to him?
I'm just asking. Does he have any friends that like ask him to like let's go maybe jog a little bit
I'm not
or
aware that he has friends.
what about salad? Does he know what salad is?
I think he might have heard of it.
Might be toxic.
I mentioned he doesn't like me. That's a part of it.
Okay. Is it because you're not?
No, I have a tendency not to keep my mouth shut.
Salad's just a promise that the real food's on its way.
Salad is a promissory note that food will soon arrive.
The tattoo was on his left side.
Yes.
So where's this this location that we can stay at?
Assuming he's giving you the house I'm thinking of, it's quite a nice one up in Gem Dust.
Does he just give this out to everybody? Is this like
He
yield?
retains a few houses to use as gifts or lodgings for when his associates are in town. Lords have to make appearances and all that.
We should wait for the others to return, and then we can head to the house and get some much needed, and then run away, just kind of drift off.
In the meantime, more ale! Alright. Talon, Grendel, anything else you guys would like to do before you head back to the bar?
One last thing. I'd like to pick up a healer's kit and a poisoner's kit.
Sure you don't want every single mirror in the city?
No. Only 35 of them.
Only 35. How about you get nothing else and we move on? No, it's going to be fairly easy to stop into a standard gear store, general store, and pick up a healer's kit and a poisoner's kit for 50 gold apiece.
Okay.
I would like to wear every mirror in the city.
And that's it. I'm done.
I'll pay for that.
You sure? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Something I can pay for.
Alright. Then while you guys are sitting there, kind of just mulling over your conversation with the one who speaks from the shadows. Eventually Talon and Grendel come back. Grendel bearing a new shield, and Talon with a couple new kits in his arms.
And another, and my old shield.
And his old, and yeah, Grendel's shield is now on Talon's arm.
So you both have shields now?
Yep.
So three of the five have shields?
Yes.
Okay. I like where we're going with this. If two more people get shields, then we're the shield.
We are shield.
Who are me and who else doesn't have a shield?
Right.
You could use shield.
Actually, no, I
I
can't.
could use a cat-shaped shield.
Then we are still called shield.
Can I use a
Because you're using a shield and he is a shield.
Well, you can use one, you're just not proficient with it.
Loopholes.
Unless you're multi.
Unless.
Just saying.
And Sally would not be able to use her barstool with a shield.
Is it two-handed?
I believe so. It's a great club, basically.
I should get a feat for that.
I don't know if there's any feat that lets you use two-handed weapons as a one-handed.
weapon.
Because it's a barstool.
There's not a feat that allows that.
Yeah, there's a feat that
that.
lets you use heavy-handed, or
What
not
is-
light weapons.
Isn't there something that makes it proficient with? Never mind. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Master.
Is that?
That just it's like the same thing as sharpshooter for heavy weapons. You -5 off. the
Minus
roll
5 to your attack roll, plus 10 to
an
your
extra
damage.
10 damage. And you can, I believe, you can make a great weapon master attack as a bonus action.
If you crit or reduce something to 0, I think it is.
Yeah.
But anyway.
is two-handed.
But yes, your two shopping friends return, shields and trinkets abundant.
Ron is asleep at the table.
Yes, see Ronan just.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sleep.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
melee weapon attack.
No bread. No bread.
It's currently about 5 o'clock in the evening.
We want to get some sleep before we go deliver our prisoner.
Sounds good.
Do we have time to get enough sleep?
I mean, we get some sleep.
If we don't, I could just heal us on the way there.
That works.
I mean, he's already sleeping.
How long is on it? 6 hours?
8.
8?
You're no. Aren't you?
Oh,
Or-
I'm out. I need 4. Yeah.
Yeah, he needs 4. I believe everyone else
I think
needs 8.
everyone else is, yeah.
I'm good.
We could go over there, do our business. I could heal us on the way over there, and then we could come back and sleep.
Actually, yeah.
It's not until 12 tonight, though.
Okay. Okay.
Can anybody
Sure.
wipe the drool dribble from Ronnie's? Just got out here looking bad. Okay.
Sally's gonna lick her thumb and wipe it off.
Oh! It's the mom smudge.
Yeah.
You just feel this half your face size thumb.
Just smears it instead.
Just reminds me of the thing I said.
That's right. Channel?
Yeah, Ryan is clean shaven. Yeah.
I didn't know because you're half Captain Lee Grove here.
Yeah, that's clean shaven.
Should send that to them.
I'm about to put it in the Discord.
But yeah, oh, that's so gross. I don't take damage from that, do I?
No.
Okay.
Why would you take damage from it?
Well, if it was Tagnak or Ogbar, then
You have a very
maybe.
big hand.
You could probably grip my head with your hand.
I don't know. I'm not doing those proportions.
As we go over there, I will cast Aura of Vitality.
Okay.
You roll that in Avray, because that's a lot of dice.
Yes.
Did you get my message about the potion?
I just
You just did.
Yep. Got it.
So, traveling through town, you can see most people have essentially started to either cut their day short or head home for the evening, given the attack. But you guys head up to Gem Dust, and with William's help, it is pointing out the house that you guys have been gifted for your work. And it's fairly large. Even just from the outside, you can see quite a bit nicer than most places you've stayed. Definitely nicer than William's house.
We're in Gem Dust?
Yeah.
Yes. You can tell this is the
114 healing to spread.
relatively
we got
upscale part of the city.
You don't need any? Oh. 1. How much do you need?
0.
You don't need any?
I burned 6 hit die.
Oh, okay. So it's just me?
Just me and you.
All right. How much do you need?
Like 10.
10? Okay.
So you got over 100 healing.
So I'm at 8 right now. So
Did you not take any to arrest when we...
nope, I'm not sure rested yet. So 61 minus 8 is 43. I need 43.
Sorry.
You have 140 health.
No. I said I need 43 pieces. 43 health.
Oh, okay.
43.
I thought he was like.
That would be ridiculously tanky for level 7.
I was just like, what?
It's almost double
He's
what I have.
actually a barbarian, completely max constitution with a tough feet,
Yeah, I was gonna
and
say,
a
yeah.
cancerous tumor that need healing.
It's a barbarian that thinks he's a paladin.
Yeah, exactly.
I need 53 health. My bad.
Okay.
So
So quite a bit of overhealing, but that's okay.
Just randomly, just find a beggar and just fucking.
But as you guys walk in, you can see it's actually, this is a pretty decked out house. It comes complete with a full dining room, kitchen, there's a bar that's open, where you can see actually you could, if you guys desired, seat several guests. and it has a total of 6 bedrooms that are all fully furnished for you.
Oh. Ronnie will make his way to just a bedroom. Doesn't give a fuck which one
Are
it is.
there, what's it called? Staff.
The house appears empty.
I'm gonna real quick run out and go to one of the closest inn that I can find and order some food for our
Lord
Cyclops outside town to have delivered.
Aries Xavier.
Aries.
Okay. Just for the sake of brevity, it would be about 10 gold to have it delivered in that high quantity and delivered.
Okay.
All right.
Is there a room that's slightly bigger than any of the others?
The rooms appear roughly all the same size,
Okay.
but they are all plenty large enough to house you.
Okay. Thanks for feeding my friends.
So much to get from Grendel, a thumbs up or a thumbs down.
Grendel, how's the day?
How'd the Mets do? All right. So you guys all are able to get somewhat accustomed to your new place, as it were. Is there anything in particular you guys would like to do, or are you just gonna kind of take it easy until midnight?
I'm getting a complete long rest.
The long rest takes it. Yeah.
We just said he only needs 4.
Oh, apologies. Yeah, you're completely right.
So I'm taking my long rest. I'm taking my armor all
Okay,
off.
you are able to. Yes.
All of it is coming off.
Well, you have to sleep.
Yeah, it's all out of there.
You can only sleep in light armor.
I use my shield as a blanket.
You can certainly try. It's a little more like sleeping with a giant metal slate on top of you. Not comfortable. It's a little like sleeping with Sally sitting on you.
How much does your shield weigh?
How much do you weigh? I'm actually. I
You
have
never ask a woman that.
I have 26 strength.
200 pounds.
I don't have 200.
You're the leanest barbarian I've ever seen.
I was about to say that's
I put 0 math or actual research into my
into her
descriptions or
weights.
size of any character. I wing it every time.
Magical world, man. We just got magic muscles.
Wasn't Rags like 7'5" and only weighed 120 pounds?
I don't remember.
She was that tall?
I don't remember. She was
I
fucking
don't know being
tall.
that tall, honestly, but I didn't ask.
I remember.
Terrifying.
I remember she was like
Caleb Ross.
way too tall for how much she weighed.
It's like
That's
stick
what I remember.
like.
That's a
Literally
group.
looks like a.
That's a group that can cast.
I'm going to her description now. She was 5'9".
Still 100 pounds is.
5'9", 140 pounds.
Oh, okay, that's good. That's fine.
That's still thin, but it's not.
At 5'9".
No, I don't care. That's over.
That's what Mark sent me while no one was dying last night.
It's
It's in Discord if you guys want to see it.
Oh, gotcha.
So
Dude smudged stuff all over his face.
I'm 5 foot and weigh 130.
that's what I'm saying. 5'9" is fine. 5'9", 140. That's not horrible.
It's pretty skinny.
It is skinny, but
Yeah, it is. For a woman, it's less.
I don't remember it off the top of my head, but at home I do have a chart of average heights and weights.
Let me put it into
men and women.
perspective because I did the math for Ghost. Ghost is 6'6", 205 pounds.
That's skinny. That is skinny. But you. I mean,
Yeah, that's fairly lean for 6'6", but it's not.
It's accurate math
Yeah,
for what a Tabaxi's build would be.
yeah, and it makes sense for Ghost being a rogue to be thinner and.
Life.
Oh my gosh, fat rogue would be amazing.
You're not watching what I put in Discord with that face, are you?
I just watched it.
It's gross, isn't it?
Josh, are you
Oh
watching?
my god.
Why are you smiling?
Because it's gross.
How are you just not completely repulsed?
It's so off-putting.
That's why I couldn't sleep last night, because I watched that when I got home, because they sent it to me.
Okay.
Were they eating wings?
Did you get to the part where the one puts his hand in the other one's mouth?
We can talk about that later. As you guys are all sitting there relaxing, Grendel, you're kind of just letting the day wash over you. As you do, you feel the entity that is responsible for your psionic energy well up slightly. We did quite well today. The voice sounds slightly different from the way it used to. It's almost more human.
Don't listen to Shitty Venom.
Don't listen to your
No, Ghost
shitty-
has shitty venom. It's totally different.
What did did we do?
We were able to stop a huge monster from destroying a town.
I remember it differently than I'm pretty sure it was our party members doing that. You and I were running.
We stopped our party members from dying. Quite a few times, actually.
What's different?
I can see things a little bit clearer right now. It's a good thing.
It's still up for debate.
Are we all gonna have our own symbiote by the end of the campaign?
Maybe.
Sweet.
Part of the reason why I wanted the ring of mind shielding. Keep it locked up.
Are you activating it against this?
It's all. No, I'm not against that, but that sounds like it's gonna hurt.
You could certainly try. You could try if you would like to.
Do you have a mind flare like grub in your head?
Who knows?
I don't fucking know.
Okay.
My brain talks to me. That's all.
I don't know, Ghost. What do you have?
You don't want to know what
The clap.
made these bones.
You don't want to know who made these bones.
Only 2 people heard that. I'm happy with that.
Sick.
I'm sending your kid out for coffee. Go!
What do you want?
Your mom. Sorry.
I want us to get what we deserve.
Be happier.
What we deserve.
Whatever it is we want.
Oh.
Yeah, we both did.
I'm gonna think on that one. Good night.
Sleep well.
So Venom, Anti-Venom. What are you?
I think I might be too dumb to get one.
There's one talking in her head constantly, but it's just the empty dial tone.
Either I can't get one or it's going to be the worst thing ever when I get one. Like when he got the curse and he just started massacring children.
Literally, at the end of that, it was just like,
It's just gonna take her over.
Yeah. Either there's nothing for it to grab to or I'm sorry, world.
She's gonna be Reggie'd.
Her symbiote is her. It's just another version of her.
no, it's the fucking Cyclopses.
Those
They're
are
for
symbiote.
symbiotes.
Does that mean nobody else can see them?
Yep.
Discord.
That'd be a sick game.
We're gonna fight intellect devourers, and they're just gonna look at her and go, "Nah, I'll pass."
It tastes like if water was a food.
I think that's ice.
Oh, you're ice.
You're right.
Did you get the message, Mark?
I did.
As long as you got it, that's all.
Is it just a clip of this battle mode?
You discorded me?
No, I discorded Mark.
Oh. I got really excited.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Your time will come.
Will it?
Yep. Don't worry. I know things about all of your characters that you don't know yet.
That's cool, because I don't think my character knows things about herself.
Good night.
So, As about 11 o'clock in the evening rolls around, Ronan, you observe the effects of a long rest.
So am I down to 1 level of exhaustion now?
Yes.
Yes. Oh my god. Also,
Just like, what Cyclops?
they were never there. All the conversations that we had about him with Faye. She's outside standing talking to
It's the
some
fucking
tree.
Joker thing.
Yeah.
Oh, she's like Wanda. What if she just created them? Out of thin air.
Please let us sleep.
We're so tired.
Level 20 skills with Fielder turns out to be a sorcerer.
Sorcerer all the time.
You just fucking touch one of them. They're just
That's
like,
not a sorcerer. That is a warlock.
Whatever the fuck she would be.
ever mind.
Before I leave the room,
I don't know. I just threw out the first.
I
Like,
pull out the
caster.
scrying stone.
Okay.
The scrying orb. I am looking for the archer.
The archer. Oh, sorry, it took me a second. So as you pull out the golden tube and whisper the dwarven words to it, the thick smoke billows out and forms almost a solid wall.
Okay. Flat screen HD 4K. I love it. Okay.
Built-in Netflix.
What?
Yeah, well, welcome to daylight savings. The image begins to blur, and then slowly goes clearer and clearer. And you see your target kneeling on a stony ground, disheveled and unshaven, and just a look of focus on his face.
What's around him? Landmarks, anything like that?
It looks to be very desolate, but what does catch your eye, having seen it before now, you recognize the skyline, so to speak, of the Dreaming Dark. It's not the same area where you were when you fought Durinder, but you definitely recognize it as the same plane.
Just with that beat, Ghost. Oh my god.
Yeah, thanks.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That was
Took you
a
back, huh?
middle school callback. Holy shit.
Everybody
Never
clap
very
your
good at it.
hands.
Thank you for saying the words, because I had no idea what the fuck they were talking about.
Oh, I don't know if that's what they're talking about or not. That's just what came to my mind.
I'll bring it up after.
That's what they're talking about, because then it's... Nope, I'm done.
No, he just talked.
You don't have any pencils I brought
Anyway.
on that?
I bet.
11 o'clock or so rolls around. You guys all gather together, but Ronan is nowhere to be found.
Go up to his room.
No Ronan.
What? Oh my god. What?
What's the dog doing?
I look for signs of passage, of disturbance or anything in his room that we left him.
Looking around quickly, you can see all his gear is gone.
I'm gonna go to where the Cyclopses are and ask them if they've seen him.
You're gonna leave the town and go down to the Cyclops?
They're not that far outside of town, are they?
Well, you guys
Gem dust.
are here. Cyclopses are all the way down here.
Fuck my life. Okay. No, I'm not gonna do that.
In fact, you're almost as far away as you could be from them in town.
Yeah.
They didn't accommodate our Cyclopses?
Shockingly, not that many buildings that size. Maybe the keep.
Fuck this place.
They couldn't at least let him in the gates.
If they want to trample people in the streets, sure.
Literally
They're careful.
unplayable.
Literally unplayable, DM.
I'm unimmersed.
This is like getting the house in Winterhold. It's just a shitty fucking city.
I hate this place.
Despite the fact it's basically solid.
Yeah.
Do any of you know where Ronan went? Ronan's not in his room. None of his gear is. He must have left. I guess on his own accord due to his gear not being there.
Maybe he went for a walk.
Why would he take all of his gear though?
You
I
bought
don't know.
another set of sending stones, didn't you?
What? No, I haven't bought anything.
Someone did, didn't they?
I was given another sending stone to talk to
By William, yeah.
William.
I have a sending stone that only goes to one other person.
Just a coffee, yeah.
Ronan,
Yes.
after you arose from your sleep, you began to hear some soft but wonderful music. A tune you've never heard before, but something that speaks to you primally.
That's why I'm not religious.
Okay.
You feel exceptionally compelled to follow it.
Is it in a specific language?
It is in Elvish.
Oh. No.
And so, still having some of your wits about you, you can tell that the music leading north might be just on the outskirts of town. So you decide to gather up your gear. I should say you can gather up your gear if you would like to, unless you want to go with that.
I would for sure put my armor on.
Okay.
Take my weapons.
That's what I figured. So,
But yeah, that would,
okay.
like anything I would normally carry on me on a normal day.
So traveling out, it is the middle of the night. The streets are virtually empty at this point.
Okay.
A few stragglers, a couple of drunks, but not what you're here for. You start heading north until you reach the gate that leads out of town.
So that way?
Yes.
Okay.
You can tell you're very close to the source of the music, and it's extremely beautiful.
Okay.
What would you like to do?
Am I all the way out of town?
You're at the gate.
I'm at the gate. Have I heard this voice before?
Make an insight check. With advantage.
16. 12. 16.
It sounds intimately familiar. You can't quite place it, but you definitely know the voice. It makes you feel happy.
I will walk towards the gate, stop, back up, and then cautiously turn around and just start walking back to the house confused as fuck.
Okay. I need you to go ahead and make a wisdom save for me.
It's a is that a new day? No, it's not.
No, it's not in a day.
Oh,
You would have to see him anyway.
yeah, that's fair. Never mind.
Restarting the cheesy bread vibe.
Yep. You start to turn away, and almost against your will, your body refuses. And you find yourself walking out of the gate, and then slowly turning right to follow the wall.
Okay.
It's not long, maybe a couple minutes. You reach a small alcove where you see a woman in chainmail and scale armor playing a lyre. And for a second, you almost don't recognize her. Before you realize this is Cassandra.
I think I know.
She appeared in session 1, actually.
I believe that's his hunting buddy.
She appears to have aged just a little bit. Not exceptionally, just almost more of a battle-hardened look to her, more than the somewhat carefree challenge she appeared to present before. but still unmistakably the same person. And as you lock eyes with her, she smiles. I was wondering if I was going to see you again.
I somehow made it worse.
I will stand there confused for a second. I'm shocked to see you here.
As am I you.
What brings you this far south?
You do.
And I'll just well, here I am.
And she kind of keeps softly playing the lyre. Do you remember what happened on White Day?
On what day?
White Day.
Do I remember what happened on White Day?
That would be the day of the king's wedding.
Oh, okay. I remember many things about that day.
The last brick suddenly fell into place for Mikey.
No. Well, it's been nice knowing you.
I always enjoyed the hunt. I just never quite expected it was going to be you that I was getting paid to find. I suppose the only question is, are you going to make this easy, or is this going to be fun?
Lance, choose a string there.
Ronan, use your Moonblade attack. Not enough PP.
There's no PP left for this minute.
Ronan attempts to flee. It failed. Cannot get away safely.
Hyper beam, use hyper beam.
What's it gonna be, Ryan?
Well, I stand and look at her. It's funny. Normally on hunts you figure out if this is the real monster or not. Have you no questions?
I saw what you did with my own eyes.
Did you?
Was she there?
She was definitely in the city.
Was she got invited to the wedding?
Who knows?
And if so, you did see. What song did I dance to?
Kind of see her try to think over it. I didn't see a song. I saw a ceremony, and I saw you betray her grace.
I smell a Decepticon.
Yeah. Smells like a rat. Hate rats. When is this taking place?
You have no idea.
We have no idea.
You're not there. You have no idea.
No, I know. But is this like taking place that when we're looking for him now?
Some point between when Ronan went to sleep and now.
Okay.
How far away is she from me?
Probably about 30 feet.
30 feet? Okay. Well then, Cassandra, please, do what you came here to do.
And you see she slowly puts down the lyre. And one of her hands is a set of manacles. And the other she places on the hilt of her sword.
And as I see her touch her hilt, I will touch mine.
Is it going to be quiet or is it going to be loud, Ronan?
I'd like to look around and see if anybody else is out here with us.
Make a perception check.
Ooh. 14.
don't see anybody else.
How far away is the gate?
The gate, it would about 120 feet-ish.
You know I like to make things interesting. And I will turn around and break into a dead sprint.
Okay, I need you to go ahead and roll initiative for me.
Ooh, this is gonna be fun. 17.
Okay. You do go first.
Movement. Action dash.
I don't know how I got out of the house without getting past me. I never went to bed. So unless he went out the window.
I'm dashing. I'm gone. I'll spend 60 feet movement.
So you spend your movement running away. You can hear her giving chase behind you, and all of a sudden, it would be 22 against your AC.
Hits.
Okay. You feel something jab you in the back as you feel a javelin puncture where your hip is through your armor. And I need you to go ahead and make a con save for me.
Con save. What dice, Josh?
Use one I asked about earlier.
Okay.
8. You are stunned
Okay.
for 1 round.
Okay.
So for sake of brevity, she has specific weapons to hunt people and targets and things. This is what she does.
Okay.
She comes running up to you and leaps at you, swinging her sword,
Okay.
just as you're feeling the worst parts of your stun break. And as she comes slash down at you, actually manage to bring your shield up and catch it and send it aside just in time.
Okay.
Brings us to you.
When she misses, I will like when she hits and it hits the shield, I will parry that off and then stab her with the spear of certain death.
Okay then, go ahead and make your attack roll.
That is shit. I don't have the new one. No, it's the same. So the first one is not gonna hit. That's a 9. That's gonna hit 21,
That'll absolutely hit.
and that is 1d6 plus. That does something cool. I know it does.
Can't regain hit points.
Is that what it is?
I believe that's what it is.
The weapon of certain death, right?
Yeah.
It's the same thing that is the dagger.
And that is 7 points of piercing damage.
Alright.
And yeah, she cannot regain hit points, I believe, is what he was saying. Yeah, when you damage a creature with an attack using magic spirit, the target cannot regain hit points.
Okay.
That's next turn. So,
Alright.
or at the start of my next turn. Okay.
So you kind of jab into her and she grunts in pain. And as you do, she leans forward, actually leaning into the spear attack a little bit. And you're just momentarily surprised. And so she leans forward and her lips find yours as she kisses you. And I need you to make another wisdom save.
Motherfucker.
I want this fucking snake in your head.
12. Oh, no, sorry, 22. 15 plus 7.
22?
Yeah.
Okay, big difference.
Yeah.
You feel a magic begin to ensnare your mind. And you hear her voice whisper in your ear. You really should just give up and I won't have to hurt you. And for a moment, it sounds quite nice, actually. Then you shake yourself and manage to shake the magic off. You are not charmed. And you see her kind of place her hand on her side and whisper. And you see a bright flash of light, what you would know to be a healing spell. You see her kind of surprised as the wounds do not seal.
Okay.
She looks down at the spear and a realization floods through her that's going to bring us to your turn.
Okay.
Run after you stab her.
Nope. I'm gonna stay right there with her, and then I am going to.
I'm going to attempt to spin around her and put the spear under her neck and bring it in off of, like, lock her in into a
grapple her,
yeah,
basically?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack roll.
Only I can manage to do that.
Jesus.
It's cocked.
Did that last game too.
DJ has a special power to cock dice.
Just an attack roll. You want to add anything to it?
Whatever your proficiency with the spear would be.
Okay. So that is 23.
That'll hit.
All right.
So you spin around her and lock. It actually doesn't do any damage, but she can't really run or move away from you right now.
And then I'll tell her, we really should talk about this. And then I will kick her in the back of her knee.
Okay, make an unarmed strike.
Unarmed strike. That's not going to be much.
What's your proficiency in strength?
So that is going to be 18.
18. 18 is a glancing blow.
Yeah.
So half damage.
All right.
It'd just be whatever your strength is plus 1.
So 4. Yeah. That's what I heard.
Well, 4 halved or?
No, 4. Just 4.
Okay.
So, no, half, so 2.
Or are you trying to your knees?
I'm trying to take her down to one knee.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's cocked. Let's say give her a strength bonus. She manages to resist the urge to actually go down. It does do a little bit of damage, but she does stay up.
Okay.
She kind of grunts. Time for talking was before you became a murderer, and stabs at you with the blade.
Okay.
That's going to be 22 against your AC.
Yep.
Where's the... There it is. Well, first one was high, second one was low. 17 points of slashing damage against you.
Okay.
Isn't she grappled? Isn't that a disadvantage?
I don't believe that. I just believe it means you can't move. Unless I'm incorrect, but I don't think it is.
Sure. Grappled is disadvantage on.
Grappled. Speed becomes 0, can't benefit from bonus to speed. Condition ends if the grappler is incapacitated. Or if an effect removes the grappled creature from the reach of the grappler or the grappling effect. That's it.
But she's not restrained.
7.
No.
Okay.
If he, I would say if he got her to the ground, he could restrain her if he wanted, but she manages to stay up pretty well. All right, Barney, your turn.
Hold on, give me 1 second. So, 50.
Thank goodness you healed yourself.
Yeah.
Man, if you'd had the 8 hit points you would have going into this, that would have been bad.
All right.
I didn't expect you to heal him until after. Well, he would have rested anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered, but. What are we doing, Ron?
I am going to. I'm gonna spin her around and toss her.
You're just gonna throw her?
Like get it, like
Sure.
yeah, like a nice like get the fuck on for me. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack roll just to see if you can successfully. Well, fuck it. We'll call this an athletics check.
All right.
Yeah. I roll a 2. So you spin around and gonna throw her away from her, and you see her snarl, and she goes skidding off. I would say, given the shit I rolled, she actually does fall prone.
Okay. As she falls prone. How far away did she get away? Like 5 feet?
About 10 feet.
10 feet? I am going to continue to run back to the gate.
Okay. So you just take off running. You hear her stand up behind you and give chase, even though at this point it's pretty frivolous. He just shouts out, "I will bring you a bounty in, you bastard!" And for sake of brevity, you would manage to reach the gates before she would be able to catch up with you.
Okay. I will. start making my way back towards the house.
Okay. Mostly still in one piece, a little bit disturbed by what just went down and a little scuffed up. You managed to start making your way back to where you think the house is. You didn't travel far, and as you come back in, you find everybody in the house kind of hastily talking. At this point, you hear Grendel psychically saying to everyone else, "His gear's all gone. I don't know what happened."
I would just walk right into the house.
Okay. As you guys are all hastily trying to figure out what happened to Ronan, the door opens and you see Ronan covered in grass stains walking in. Spear of certain death and shield in hand.
Most likely blood dripping from this
A little bit of blood. A little. It was. Yeah, no, it's not a bad hit,
yeah.
but
You run into some trouble?
When did you leave? How did you leave?
I can answer those questions. The bounty on our head is a little bit bigger than we can picture. A familiar friend of mine just tried to take me in.
Do I know who he's talking about?
would you have talked about Cassandra Delghost?
Have you brought her to the Lunari?
Yeah, she's been to the Lunari, yeah.
Then Ghost, I would say make an insight check with advantage.
I'm gonna hug Ronan.
You are enveloped by something slightly less overpowering than the Cyclops hug. Not by a whole lot.
Is it with advantage?
Yes.
This is
That was
warm.
an advantage.
Ronan will hug you back.
Ooh, thank you.
There.
There.
It's so horrible.
She carried talent through most of the beginning of the Dreaming Dark, so
She tried to take me in.
Put him on.
it was against. There was no consent. I didn't expect you to hit that hard. I'm sorry. 18,
21.
21.
That wasn't.
Yeah, you would be able to piece together who he's talking about.
Really? Some friend.
Yes. Let's get our package and get him moved and
Be on that.
be on our way. Yeah. Actually, we should probably wait until morning.
We can't wait until morning. We have to take. Well. No, I don't want to wait until morning.
Do you really want to go out in the dark?
I like the dark.
Just not the Dreaming Dark.
Shut up!
We don't like the Dreaming Dark. Shut up!
Shit, Evan.
Shut up, shitty venom!
Go full schizophrenic with it.
And then I'll just wipe the blood on my armor and then put my spear away.
Yes, I'm totally afraid of walking around in the dark.
It'd be so horrible. Imagine not being able to see everything.
That's your secret. You're always afraid.
It's my secret, Cap. I'm always terrified.
We can wait till the morning, but that gives her more chance to find out where we are.
But less hiding for her. This would be her preferred atmosphere, as it would be yours.
Gives you more time to prepare. A hunter's best friend is time to prepare.
If she has a legit bounty, she doesn't need to hide.
Is there any lipstick on my face from when she...
Sandra's not a big makeup person.
Good. Okay, that's all I need to know.
It's all red though.
A little bit of bruising going on.
Yeah. I got punched in my shit. No big deal. You should have seen how I hip
I
tossed
mean,
her.
kind of was what happened. She basically punched you with her lips.
So, to our friend, the package. Should we leave a thank you note for the stay, or...
I don't think so.
I mean, it's basically your guys' house now.
Okay.
We can leave a note that saying we'll be back.
Okay.
Or a tip for the maid or something.
I will,
Ghost, what is your passive perception?
I pass stupidly good.
like 23.
Passive Perception is 18.
Oh, plenty. As you head out, you take a quick glance around and you see Ronan's window is wide open.
I see I'm going to have to be doing regular sweeps.
He sees the window open. It does the metal. He's like,
In fact, even I would say, especially as a rogue, you can easily see how Ronan would have used a couple of rooftops to move over and get down into the alley without hurting himself.
Let go.
okay.
Confiscation.
I will open the door and then just kind of look out to both sides and see if there's any threatening things outside.
See a hobo sleeping.
Okay. So, Bo, look male or female?
A hobo looks male.
Okay. How asleep is he?
Looks pretty out of it. There's an empty bottle next to him.
Okay. To Williams location, to Williams' house. And then I will cautiously step outside.
Okay.
I like 20 gold and tip with a note. Says, thank you for hospitality. We'll be back. Aaron Sura.
We'll pay 500 gold to find out about the queen, but sure, you did. That's fine.
Well, I'd like to keep this as a safe house for cars. They're
That's
aware
fine.
of.
You put your gold where you want to put it. For those that are curious, the red moon is half full. The blue moon is nearly new.
Hold on. Red moon.
Moon guys, do your things.
Half. Blue. Blue's what?
Nearly new. There's just a little sliver left.
Nearly new, okay.
The green, the violet moon is missing a small sliver. So it just was full, but it's not anymore.
So. As full. Okay.
And the green moon is not yet full. It's almost full.
You said it's what full?
Almost full.
Never mind.
Okay.
Magic.
Alright. So, heading through the city, you guys mostly only come across the occasional guard who's standing post. As you do, they seem to recognize you, or a good amount of them seem to recognize you and kind of salute you as you pass. And you guys make your way to William's house. And as you open the door, you see the tiefling is still sitting there chained up with the cloak that you draped over him. Oh joy, you're back. I was getting lonely.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm in chains and I have no eyes.
I kick him in the ribs.
And now I'm hurting.
Super
I just lean down, just literally grab his face. I have not had the night for this, so shut your mouth.
Go ahead and make an intimidation check.
There. 4. This kid's like super hard.
I'd say for a second, your intimidation actually does take hold. But he manages to shake it off. Actually, no, I'm going to give him disadvantage because in this situation. Well, second roll was way better. So.
Yeah, I rolled a fucking 3.
I rolled the 4, but he has a +1.
Ah, shit. Almost got him.
Very nearly, actually.
I'm new to intimidating.
He does go quiet, but you can see he's not truly scared. More impressed than anything.
I like pull back for a second.
You hear the soft voice in your head. We should fucking kill him. He's not worth keeping alive. He's definitely not a good person.
Here we go. This is what I was waiting for. Hey,
I
Mike.
really am the only one not having murder voices in my head.
Hey, Mike.
Helen doesn't.
When your venom does
Oh,
its
yeah.
thing, does it just like give you switches behind the ear?
No.
Oh, come on. We should kill him. It's not a good
Yeah, just
person.
like have that nagging feeling, just like right back there where
That
it's just
unpleasant
always
tingle.
uncomfortable.
Like that itch that you can't scratch.
Yeah. It's just always just a weird feeling there.
It's a little bit like when you have water in your ear and you can't quite get it out.
Yeah. Kind of. You just try and ignore it as much as you fucking can.
Oh, like when you get a tickle in your throat and you can't get rid of it?
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry for that. It has been a trying day.
In your head. Not sorry. And you see the tiefling just kind of half slunched over. But I would hate to make things uncomfortable for you.
I'll walk over to him. And Ronan will put one hand on his shoulder. Understand, we don't want to harm you. And as wild as it seems, we're not horrible individuals.
No one, whoever is, says that they are.
I mean, yes, we kept you in chains and didn't...
And starved me for a few
Did we feed
days.
him? No, we didn't feed him, no.
You gave him rations.
I gave him rations.
You gave him a ration
I gave him 2.
after 3 days.
Times are tough. We're on the lamb.
The world is in a recession.
Yeah, we're
You
hurting.
guys just got gifted a fucking house. We're times are so tough.
We could be on the land
This is
somewhere.
fucking Mitt Romney sitting there during his presidency. Guys, I understand that times are tough as I'm on my private yacht.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's Ted Cruz going
Yeah.
to the Caribbean.
We're all in the same
All his
boat,
people
guys.
Freezing to death.
It's
Guys.
Soda popping on stream while he has his bank account up, $200,000 in savings. Money's tight.
I don't know who you're talking about, but he made me angry.
Soda popping?
Is that his name?
Yeah,
Sounds like a dick.
he is.
He is.
Did you know there are people in this Gen Z, so age generation,
Gen Z's little one, yeah.
who don't know who Paul Wall is?
I don't know who Paul Wall is.
I saw a TikTok. It literally said, "Who gave white people permission to have grills?"
It was Paul Wall,
Paul
bro.
Wall.
And then another guy was just like, "Hold on," and he pulled up the clip.
It's Paul Wall, bro. That whole Texas move, man. Fuck, I'm not getting into that.
Anyway,
Sorry.
But the people that you're going with now will keep you alive. And then once we've all of this figured out, I would like to come back and get you and unchain you and train with you.
I was given to you to do with as you will. Although at this point I'm being traded around so much, I wonder how many gold I'm worth.
How much gold are you worth? That's a great. We'll come back to that.
Literally slave trade.
One nice
Take care of you there.
They may change her name to Dobby. Who knows?
Never give him clothes.
Get Dobby sock.
Dobby is sock. Dobby is free.
I will stand him up and look at and start making our way towards the door with them.
Making my way.
Downtown, walking fast, faces passing, I'm homebound.
Fucking Terry Crews. And I miss you.
Shell Branch sings that.
No, I mean, I was talking about the white chicks.
I know.
That's,
Well, I would pay money to watch Terry Crews sing it. I won't
that's how
lie.
I found out about that song. Was that movie?
Really?
Yeah.
You're not a white girl.
I had no idea what it was, but when I heard it, I was like, "This is fucking hilarious."
So you guys bring him through the town at night. You get the occasional curious glance, but given that he's cloaked, unless they are particularly close, so probably not worth it. But it's they don't get paid enough to question it. Doesn't look dangerous. They're not worried about it.
Okay.
And you manage to make your way to the Eastern Gate, where you agreed to meet with
Lord Moonstar.
Lord Wilhelm.
So, was it Willem Moonstar?
Willem Moonstar, yes.
Yep.
You see he is standing there with his little trio entourage.
Once again, Lord Moonstar, we appreciate this.
We made a trade. You held to your end, and I will hold to mine.
And I'll reach out to shake his hand.
He kind of clasps it, and he kind of brings you in for the warrior shoulder. You can tell there's a respect he has watching you guys from fighting this afternoon. Just a little headbutt. Well, again, if you ever find yourselves down in my neck of Terraton, consider yourself to be guests there.
I bow.
Well, fuck the queen.
Fuck the queen.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
That's our group name now.
That's the queen. That's something we can all probably get
That can
behind.
either be a threat or a promise.
Also, something to get behind it on both ways.
Both people will support both sides. You will have people who will support you.
Jesus Christ, fucking hell. Fuck the queen.
They
He's
turn,
easily one of the best characters in the whole
This is
series.
and you watch them walk out into the evening.
Okay.
fucking.
Okay. Well, that's one burden we've removed. Now what? Back to the house or into the night?
Mind you, only one of you at this point is long rest.
Yeah, we should probably sleep. What are you all doing? It's only 7 hours. That didn't count as a long rest.
Yeah, it was
For
from
6 hours. Because
Yeah.
we need time to.
find a house and
Back
then.
at 11.
Did no one sleep for 6 hours then?
He's the only one that got a long rest.
And no one only.
If anybody wanted to, you could have
hours.
slept for 6 hours. It wouldn't be enough for a long rest, but you could have gotten some of it in.
Yeah. And then finish the last couple.
Yeah, because I mean that's essentially what happens when you take second watch. You sleep for 4 hours, watch for 4 hours,
Okay.
sleep for 4 hours. So if you guys would like to,
I think that'd be a good choice after, spending our days fighting a giant.
okay.
Okay.
So you guys head back to your home in Gendas.
I suggest, rather than us going back to the same location that
William.
we were just in, let's go to a random inn. Finish the night.
Yep.
Let's easily tracked by someone.
Which gate did you go out of?
North Gate.
Went out of the north gate.
So
Yeah.
we'll find an inn in the old district or
Five horns.
Five Horns.
Go ahead and make investigation check for me, whoever would like to.
Sure.
I'm gonna use the scandal die. Ooh. Ooh. 22.
21.
Grendel, you find a couple inns that are more small hole-in-the-wall places. Ghost and Ronan, you two find a couple different inns, as well as a few that look like they might be less ostentatious and maybe more not as widely explored, if you will.
What are the names of the inns?
Nothing. I just thought that was. I would enjoy that.
How many doors on these?
Is one made of wood or are they stone? What are we talking?
Yeah, it's funny when it's on the other foot.
It is. Is it brick?
Hey, I had to come up with the interior of a ship on fucking random.
It's wood. How much you gotta come up with?
We did end up debating how much width was between the wall and the edge of the door
That
frame.
is true.
You debated how fast a rock person could fall down into the ocean.
By
at
the way,
the
do you
speed
know
There's
the
something
Antarctic
else really
is
stupid.
About 12,000 feet deep.
Yeah, so if we were on the average ocean, Reggie would still be falling.
Gotta love fantasy worlds. Anyway, Ian, what's the name of these?
Right. So looking around, there is one known as the Sleepy Baboon.
Oh, that's the one we're going to.
It's a little more upscale, but still, especially at this point in the night, there's not a whole lot of people sticking around. There is another one known as Chimera's Doom. And finally, there's a much smaller one known as the Gentle Giant.
Where would she think he would go?
I'm poor. Where do you think she would think I would go?
They go to the most expensive.
Okay. And we will go to the baboon.
The Sleepy Baboon was
Sleepy
yes, the-
Baboon,
the
yeah.
slightly more upscale.
Yes, we'll go to the sleepy baboon.
Okay.
There should be chocolates on the pillows.
Well,
Do
it's,
they
more,
recognize us?
it's closer to a 3 than a 5-star.
Oh. Damn.
So there's
okay.
chocolates, but it's mice.
It's my shit on the pillow.
It's not. It's not a mint. It's actually a peep.
Oh, the disrespect.
Oh, gross.
Oh, it's the dollar store chocolate.
Yeah,
coin.
exactly. It's the off-brand
Those
one.
are really good. Fuck that. They're really good.
They're really good.
Okay.
It's wrapped in tinfoil.
They're addicting, though.
Run through a bag, dog.
I mean, you have one coin, next thing you know, you're $300 deep.
You're $300 deep and you don't know what happened. That's a problem.
Okay. Then yes, the sleepy baboon it is.
Okay. As you guys head in, Ghost, actually, for possibly the first time, especially in quite a while, you actually lock eyes with another tabaxi. This one is covered in orange fur with kind of the occasional darker burnt orange streak through it and vibrant yellow eyes.
Male or female?
Appears to be a female.
Oh.
It's crazy.
It's a kitty cat.
You walk in.
That's.
She does. Her eyes do linger for a second on you. You can tell it's more just the curiosity of meeting another tabaxi, as they are somewhat rare in Terraton.
Black tabaxi, which is even rarer.
Well, black and white. I mean.
Yeah, that's true. You're right.
And after looking at you guys for an extra second, you can tell she kind of realizes you guys for being the Water Wicklers.
Did she say that?
She does not say that.
Alright.
Yes, that's how you guys announced yourself to the town.
Because we wiggle through the water. We're the water wigglers. Water wigglers. Water wigglers. The water
There's a
wigglers.
lot of debate in my mind on whether to title this episode The Water Wigglers right now. You stopped me last time, but I don't know if I'm just... Anyway. She looks at you guys. Welcome to the Sleepy Baboon. My name is Timber.
Oh, timber. Ah.
How may I help you find people today?
I nudge Ghost.
Just give you a side eye like. That's what both tabaxi. You think that's just a sign?
I didn't say anything.
Shut your mouth.
Me,
Do I
wow.
push you onto every half-elf we meet?
Racist.
You racist son of a bitch.
We still find him in her room in the morning.
I didn't say no.
That's a separate tool we're gonna use later.
It's a mystery tool, but I'll look at this later.
We need a couple of rooms.
Sure. I'm sorry, were you not just gifted lodgings by Lord Evier?
We were, but we're going to be leaving in a few hours, and we're leaving out of this gate. So we wanted to
No,
come
I mean,
down.
by all means, I won't, certainly won't stop you. But yes, 2 rooms, that would be 3 silver apiece, please.
Heard. 2 gold, just to keep quiet.
She nods and slides the gold into the counter.
I just lean over to Talon. We get Ghost his own room.
Of which I hear.
You probably would because your passive perception's
And I'm
pretty high.
okay with it.
I think we know which one he's already going to.
Got it.
Yes, I'm going to the one that he's in to make sure he doesn't climb up any more windows.
That's how you got out?
It's quite impressive, actually.
I've got a little skill. Nothing like his, though.
I'm not aware of
This
any of it, but I
master of acrobatics and so on. He's phenomenal. Flexible, somebody would say.
That stab wound.
Not great. I'm still bleeding.
Not great. I'm still bleeding.
Maybe you should go lie down.
You have the keys.
You're right, I do.
I would very much so love to lie down.
I mind control a key to my hand.
I hand Grindle one of the keys.
So what are the sleeping arrangements? Clearly you don't want me alone. I could bunk with Talon or Grendel or Sienna. Either or is fine with me.
Let's just keep the family together.
So one room or two?
They can have one room. We'll take the other.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Timber. We appreciate it, and I will slide her 1 gold in line as well.
She nods and pockets the gold.
After you, please.
What numbers did we get?
$11 and $14.
I'm gonna go in the same room as Ronan.
Okay. All right. What room are you going in?
$14.
Okay. What room is everybody else going in?
That's a great question. I don't care at this point.
How many beds are in each room?
3.
Okay.
Hey, Sienna, would you like to stay with me and Grendel? Because surely if I decide to go out a window, you can stop me.
Would him trying to go out a window while I'm sleeping count as like surprise shit?
Not
No.
really.
Okay.
Now let's
If you have the alarm spell, yes, but
A barbarian.
barbarian.
like the intro to Dave the Barbarian.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
I thought Ghost wanted to stay with you.
Stay.
Run
As
it.
long as he doesn't leave.
And I'm not going to leave.
Did you leave of your own volition last time?
There was a conflict of interest.
What?
So 14.
Did she bat her eyelashes at you?
Well,
It's like when you hear a bell, or how you knew your friend was in the bar. It's one of those.
So she sent you a sign.
Yes,
You willingly went over there.
of course.
I saw the sign. I saw,
Insight.
I saw the sign.
Trash.
It's a ghost all the time.
Yeah, I'm full of shit.
You liar!
That's what
Ghost has a lot of
All right, well, good night, everyone.
All right, you guys are able to sleep for the 2 hours you did not. For which you paid 3 gold. In the city, which you have 2 places you could have stayed for free. But hey, your choices are your choices. You guys may continue to stay there until the morning if you wish, or you may leave at 1 o'clock in the morning. Or closer to 2 o'clock.
So will this be a short rest for me?
If you want it to be.
Okay. I will roll some hit die then.
Whole time just
Gaff tape around.
God damn it.
Why don't they have any bigger capes?
Characters
Get trash.
What color moon's up?
all
All the moons are out. None of them are full right now.
Oh, none of them are full. Which one is the most full?
Both the violet and the green moon are equally full.
Okay.
things.
He's wearing a mask.
Oh,
The green moon is about to be full.
yeah, that's what that looks like.
Green
The
and purple
plastic
is
bag.
Purple just was
It
full a
reminded
couple
me of
nights ago.
Star-Lord.
Green is about to be full.
Okay.
Like, I'm really bad at this.
Wait.
Oh.
Do you see the Star Lordiness?
Hold on. Wait a second.
Uku.
Who?
Uku. Star Wars.
Is that just a-
lightsaber?
Grendel. It is currently the 12th, technically. It just became the 12th. You would know the 13th is known as Spirit Day, which is a day for all those who have lost a family member to kind of give their spirit rest and put them to peace, as it would be. Typically, it's a day where most people visit spirits or shrines. So you just you know, it doesn't affect anything necessarily for you, but just it's a day whenever the Lost Islands are very, very busy.
I would like to go to their room and cast alarm.
Alright.
Because they don't have anybody with the alert. No, you can't be. Oh, never mind. I wouldn't do that because I know Ghost is good for it.
Okay.
I forgot about that.
I've only slept for 2 hours.
Okay.
Alright. So, you guys rise. Everybody would
We
like
said we
to.
did 6 hours, and then did that, and then did the.
He did not.
You all did 6 hours.
Oh.
I did.
That was done. So as the morning comes, you guys have all achieved the benefits of a long rest, except for Ronan. Did you not sleep at all?
I slept the 2 hours.
Okay.
That was it.
Are you guys leaving after the 2 hours, or are we staying so Ghost can get some rest? It's up to you.
I'll go. Let's go.
What time is it?
2 in the morning. If you stay 6 more hours, it would be 8 o'clock.
We paid for the rooms. We might
Yeah, we might as well stay the rest of the night.
It's up to you guys, however you want to do it.
Yeah, I think we would stay and let everyone get fully rested before we head out on the road, where we could potentially not be sleeping for nights.
And then Ronan would just stay by the window. Just looking out the window.
Yeah, I'm gonna telepathically move my bed in front of the door, and so no one comes barging in.
How much can you lift telepathically?
A large creature or smaller?
Okay. I was thinking you were thinking Mage Hand.
Nope.
I was like, that bed's a lot more than 10 pounds.
Yeah.
Alright.
I guess I am sleeping now.
8 o'clock comes around, everybody received the benefits of a long rest, and inspiration gets doled out. Alan? Vernon. Grendel.
You hand this back to him.
Tina? And finally, Ghost.
Right.
You got Ghost?
No.
What is it? I can't see what it says.
Thief.
Wow, that might have been more fitting.
Which one?
Rogue.
Oh.
Okay.
The morning is yours. What would you guys like to do with it?
I guess we would eat breakfast and then, or I would eat breakfast and then just wait for them to be ready to go.
The breakfast is... It does the job. Definitely, it's not great. Gordon Ramsay would not be happy. But it serves its purpose.
And then where are we heading? Spire?
The
Up to you guys.
Spire. To collect, go, or money. We need money.
Find our Cyclone friend.
Yeah, we're gonna go gather our the resident wrestlers and then head out.
Yes. They're outside doing
Better name the water
3-time
wigglers.
champions.
What?
The 3-time
Hey, we're
champions.
only known as the water wigglers in this town.
Oh yeah, just in the
For
capital
now.
of the largest land in Terraton.
Anyone who calls me a water wiggler's get a fucking shot.
Same.
You guys had ample
anything
opportunity
against
just to say
water
the
wigglers?
5. Like, there was no reason you couldn't have just said the 5.
It's catchy.
I forgot about the 5, I'm not gonna lie. And I don't talk to strangers.
I wasn't trying to undermine our own party's opinion in front of the Lord.
Fair.
Was also still trying to keep a low profile
You said
at
the
that
Lord,
point.
and I thought you meant Jesus Christ for a second. The Lord in my brain said Jesus Christ.
Anyway,
And also with you. Amen.
so by about 9 o'clock in the morning, you guys are exiting the southern gate, where you find Tognak and Ogbar sitting near the tree, the remnants of a once great evening meal at their feet, and the tree somewhat placed back in the ground, even though now it is only half a tree.
Still have all our gold, right?
Maybe.
What's the first thing I'm looking for?
Go ahead, big perception check.
Fucking misplace our shit. Oh no. 16.
You're pretty sure they still have the gold.
Okay. Back to the dead. Don't you dare lose our money.
We're on
You
our way
had
to the
one
spire.
job.
Then we are going to the spire.
Okay.
We're off to see the weather.
All right. So you guys just gonna take the straight road there, or how do you want to do it?
Yep.
I'm taking straight road there. Fuck it.
Yep. Do it now.
All right then. So for the sake of brevity, it's about a 2.5 day trip to Oleum.
I remember I have our speeds doubled.
Is it just travel speed in general, or is it through rough terrain?
It's travel speed. Whether mounted or on foot, your travel pace is doubled, as is the travel pace of up to 10 companions while they're within 60 feet of you and you're not incapacitated.
Damn.
The elk.
So
But she has to act like an elk the whole time. Just
grazing and shit.
I don't summon as a vampire. I guess.
That's just a sick elk.
it would be a little over a day's worth of travel to get to Oleum if you guys want to stop there, or it would be about 2.5, 3 days to get to the spire. At the pace that Scared of Vertiver is apparently capable of.
We're all just on her shoulders. She's still acting like an elk.
Like fucking lashed to one of her legs.
It's like the kid that's hanging onto their dad's leg. Just
I'm just happy to have attention from my friends.
I'm just flailing around.
We're all on her, and she's on one of the legs of the Cyclops.
You look like fucking Voltron.
Voltron, form up!
I don't think we have much of a reason to stop,
Yeah.
You certainly don't have to.
so we'll continue.
Unless there's something special about this city.
I mean, it's a fairly large city. It's not nearly as large as Evier Hall or Kapari was, but there are commodities to be had if you would like to stop. You
The
certainly don't have to.
Other thing the ghost is still looking for is an enchanter.
There might be an enchanter in there.
Oh, I gotta pass through it at least, right? Or I guess we don't. It's kind of on the side.
Yeah, we can. I mean, if we're here, might as well not go out of our way to not.
We can stop briefly on lunch.
Have a lunch break.
Have a
You want
lunch
us to
break.
take lunch?
Yeah, I'm not a warden.
He is a slave driver, though,
Well,
And he's racist.
and he's racist.
I'm racist?
Yeah, you hate the Cyclopses.
What Cyclopses?
Our friends.
He just blocks him out of this.
I told you, Ghost doesn't hate them. I hate them.
Why?
They're annoying.
So are you. We like you.
Wow.
You're the shit. Just
Well, now I know.
No one's defending him. Oh, you're not annoying.
Come on, let it go.
Here, here.
Come on. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Do you want me to?
Right here.
She already did it, but if you want her to finish the job, just lean your
I
neck
didn't stab you in the back. I stabbed you in the
I'll
front.
just get in line. You guys can one at a time.
Nah, come on, man. We wouldn't
It's
do
not fun unless it's all filled.
Oh, and to Brute?
that. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't
When
do
we
that to
get there, we're
you.
gonna
I
look for an
mean, shit.
We will hit that up next time as you guys come on to the town of Oleum.
that's where we'll go ahead and come to a close for the week.
Okay.
So,
Level up.
no, you guys just did that.
Did we?
Yes,
It feels like it was forever.
it was less than a week ago.
That was a few steps. Are you gonna say goodbye this time?
I'm gonna say
You
Goodbye.
didn't
this
say
time.
bye last
I
time.
didn't say bye last time, and I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, everybody. I'm
He
so
doesn't love you.
inexcusable.
Just like they don't love me.
Literally Hitler.
We don't love you. Oh no. Anyway.
Are we just giving these back?
No, you guys haven't. It's for the first day that we play. That was just for the sake of brevity.
Oh, alright.
But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for playing. I hope you guys had fun. I had fun. And we will see you guys next week.
Goodbye.
Bye.